North Split. Traffic sponsored by Fresh Time Market. This week at Fresh Time Market, save on certified Angus beef top sirloin steak, just $3.99 a pound now through September 6th. Get real. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Should be a beautiful day today. High temperatures topping out in the low 80s with a mostly sunny sky. Later on tonight, lows bottom out in the upper 50s, lower 60s, and a slightly warmer day come Thursday. Highs in the mid to upper 80s with a mostly sunny sky. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Mead for 93 WIBC.
Sunny at 82 downtown. I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
All right. Yeah. My name is Jason Allen Hammer. Big Nigel is right across from me.
Hello.
I believe we've got Matt Bear here. Harrison Silcox is here. The gang is pretty much all here with the except of one person, Nige.
Mondo?
Well, Mondo doesn't count.
Oh.
I'm talking about wheeling, dealing, hair sniffing, kiss stealing Joe Biden.
I got hairy legs.
But I'm not stupid. The guy takes a revealing picture of his naked friend.
So Joe Biden barnstorming the state of Pennsylvania right now.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get some of these Democrats elected. Fetterman, probably the most well-known in that state that's running for a Senate seat. He's got this big prime time deal coming up on Thursday in Philadelphia.
Governor's race as well.
So this speech from Philly on Thursday night, they're billing this as Joe Biden's going to speak about how MAGA Republicans want to remove your rights.
Oh, boy. Yeah, what a surprise. A politically divisive speech from the president. This is a guy that ran on unity and bringing the country together up to the 2020 election. Now he's calling people, Trump supporters, fascists. Okay, got it.
And Thursday from Philadelphia, some prime time speech he's going to make. He's going to stand up there and wag his finger because the Republicans are against law and order. They're against the police.
Really?
They're the party that wants violence in the streets. Now, that's what he's going to say. The question is, how many people are going to believe it? You know the media is going to carry their water for it. People on MSNBC, CNN, they're going to run with this because now that people have questions about the FBI, specifically folks on the right, that means you're against the police, Nige.
Wow. My goodness. Okay, so, all right, whatever. Whatever. I mean, this guy literally ran that heartfelt, emotional speech he gave on Inauguration Day, January 2021. Hell, I even felt inspired. I was like, all right, well, maybe this is it. Maybe we can move on. Not exactly. Nah, you just wait right there, fascist. You question the FBI? You question them about telling Facebook to squash the Hunter Biden laptop story? How dare you, fascist?
When it comes to that inauguration, I'm reminded of the speech that Tim Matheson gives in the movie Animal House, and I quote, "You screwed up. You trusted us."
What are we doing? We need to do we haven't done a bingo card in a while. Hammer and Nigel Biden bingo card. Certain words.
Maybe, just maybe, we'll crank one of those bad boys out here tomorrow. We'll see. Now, last night, the old man was in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Again, he's going all over the state, trying to get Fetterman's big fat ass across the finish line here. Here is Joe Biden saying that Republicans are calling for violence in the case that Donald Trump is indicted.
You hear some of my friends in the other team talking about political violence and how it's necessary. Think about this now. Did any of you think, either as old as I am, you've ever been in an election where we talk about it's appropriate to use force, political violence in America? It's never appropriate. Never, period. Never, never, never.
Maxine Waters might disagree with you there. Maxine Waters is really, she kind of got this whole thing going a couple of years ago. If you see anybody in a restaurant that's associated with Trump, in a department store, gas station. You get out and create a crowd and you push back on him.
Right.
That's just one of many, tons of examples of that.
Hell, Kamala Harris, your vice president, Joe, was bailing out rioters, violent rioters from Minnesota who, oh, by the way, have since gone and committed multiple crimes, including murder, since she bailed them out, putting them right back out on the streets.
I didn't see the Department of Justice or the FBI come to Kavanaugh's rescue or any of the other judges over the summer that, protesters outside their house nonstop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, an assassination attempt made on Kavanaugh's life. I still haven't seen a condemnation on that. But boy, you talk about MAGA supporting Trump lovers. And this is so funny because Trump, he hasn't even announced that he's running yet. They are so scared of Donald Trump. That's all they have.
Joe Biden never condemned what happened to Kavanaugh.
Yeah, exactly. But he's up there talking about violence if Trump is indicted.
Okay. See, that's where Graham Nasty made the mistake. And we talked about this the other day. Lindsey Graham Nasty goes out and says, well, I tell you what, if they can put Donald Trump behind bars, there might be some rioting or something to the effect there.
I love your Graham impression.
You like my Graham Nasty right there?
Lindsey Graham impression.
Terrible statement made by a guy that really doesn't even like Donald Trump. Going back to last night, though,
yes,
here
please.
is Joe Biden on the fentanyl situation.
Notice how many people are dying of opioid overdoses now? And by the way, laced with fentanyl? Attorney General Shapiro can tell you more about that you never want to know for a fact. For real. He's been such a strong leader on this. But we're going to impose tougher penalties for deadly fentanyl trafficking. That's poisoning communities across this country. This is a key part of the unity agenda I'm announcing that I announced in my State of the Union address. We can do this. We have to do this. We'll make America safer.
Dude, you do not get to stand up there and complain about the fentanyl.
Oh, my gosh.
All the families that have had their lives ruined, children killed because of what's coming across your wide open border. How dare you stand up there and wag your finger about fentanyl in this country?
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's thousands of people dying. Well, not thousands. I mean, I read the stat today that's it's the equivalent of a plane crash a day of people ODing on illegal drugs and fentanyl coming across the border.
And it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. But Joe Biden wants no part of locking up the border. He loves it. He wants people to walk right across, hop on planes, get dropped off into various parts of the country. Unless it's New York or D.C., then everybody gets their panties in a wad.
Yeah.
Here is Hair Sniff McGee on gun control.
And for those brave right-wing Americans that say it's all about keeping America's independent and safe, if you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun. No, I'm not joking.
I don't think the crowd thought you were joking either. I barely heard a laugh.
Oh.
They were like murmuring. What's he talking about? What? You're going to need more. It's almost like he was threatening Americans that have a different point of view and perspective on this country.
Right.
If you want to fight against the country, wait, I'm going to fight against injustices in the country. Bring an F-15. These are the guys. Don't try to act so hard, Biden. You were scared of Chewbacca guy overthrowing. They were all terrified of like 100 people dressed up, the ski bro carrying Nancy Pelosi's podium.
Right.
Chewbacca guy.
That allegedly brought down our democracy.
Those guys are going to overthrow our democracy, but now you're a tough guy.
Right. Last night in Pennsylvania, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Joe Biden. Now, keep in mind, he's there to try to get Josh Shapiro elected as governor and John Fetterman elected as senator. Take a listen here because you could tell Joe Biden has no idea who these people are, and he gets them flip-flopped.
Please elect the Attorney General of the Senate.
He's running for governor.
No. Elect that big old boy to be governor.
That's Fetterman. He's running for the Senate. You dummy. That big fat SOB over there, that guy.
That is truly embarrassing. By the way, Fetterman backing out of a debate with Dr. Oz because of his health, saying the status of his health. I'm like, well, look, if you can't debate somebody because of your health, should you be running for Senate in the first place?
There's a lot of debate that takes place on the Senate floor.
Yeah.
Joe Biden kind of brought a couple things together last night. It was a mix of putting his dead son in a story, which he likes to do all the time.
All the time.
And then his folksy racism, which we've kind of grown accustomed to here. Take a listen to this.
If I can just interject for a moment, my deceased son, Bo, he was the Attorney General of the state of Delaware. And what he used to do is go down to the east side, what called the Bucket, highest crime rate in the country. There's a place where I was the only white guy that worked as a lifeguard down in that area, the east side. And you know you can always tell where the best basketball in the state is and the best basketball in the city is.
Holy crap.
So we're tying together the black neighborhood that had the high crime, but damn, were they good in basketball.
That Corn Pop was a bad dude, but he had a killer 3.
Good God almighty. Like if you have your Joe Biden bingo card, let's see, dead son, folksy racism, bingo. There it is. Lisa Booth is a conservative commentator. You see her on Fox News from time to time. She brought the absolute heat to Joe Biden after this speech last night.
And the guy who is actively trying to imprison his political opponent wants to talk about fascism, right? Unless he's giving an instructional how to be a fascist, he has no leg to stand on here. But one of the biggest lies that Americans were told is that Joe Biden is a good guy. If you think about it, this is a guy who led 2 of the most terrible confirmation hearings in American history, where he smeared and slandered Robert Bork and Clarence Thomas when he was the Senate Judiciary Chairman. And Mary Ellen Bork, the late Robert Bork's wife, even wrote to the Wall Street Journal heading into the 2020 election, warning us that Joe Biden is a man without a compass who viciously smeared and led a character assassination against her late husband. This guy is a prolific liar. He is a plagiarist, had to drop out of a previous presidential race because of that. And the only reason anyone thinks Joe Biden is a good man is because he has suffered so much loss, and he uses that loss, he uses that grief for political purposes as both a shield and a sword, as we saw when he got 13 service members killed, and then tried to invoke the death of his late son, who died of cancer, who did not die in the line of duty. So one of the biggest lies we were ever told is that Joe Biden is a good man. He is a terrible president, an even worse human being.
Bringing the heat.
Whoa.
Lisa Booth. All right, Matt Bear, what is going on?
Stall on the ramp, westbound 70 to northbound 65 and yield north split. Right now we're backed up to Rural Street, Keystone Avenue. Inbound 65 also stopped at 21st to the north split. Southside eastbound 465 stop and go from Harding Street over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by LP SmartSide Trim and Siding. Visit lpcore.com/pro. LP SmartSide Trim and Siding helps you efficiently install more siding in less time. Side with LP SmartSide Trim and Siding. Visit lpcore.com/pro to learn more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
82 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center are you okay with this? We haven't done this in a while. Are you okay with this coming up next?
As a parent, you want the best education for your child. Choose Marian University Preparatory School for this school year. Their faith-based online private school is currently enrolling students in grades 6 through 9. Your child will benefit from their personalized college prep curriculum and supportive community. Financial aid is available through the Indiana Choice Scholarship. To learn more about the unique educational experience of Marian University Preparatory School, visit k12.com/Marian. That's k12.com/MARIAN.
Let's get into college football. Season is here, and you want to be ready for game day with FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in free bets guaranteed for week 1. Just place a $5 bet, and you get $150 in free bets, win or lose. If you're a Purdue fan, you want to bet on tomorrow night's game, might be a good place to start. Download the app, use my promo code WIBC, place $5 on Purdue. Win or lose, you're still guaranteed $150. Now's the time. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, it's perfect time to give it a shot. The app is so easy to use, and they're hooking you up, always hooking you up with great odds. And when you win, you get paid fast. That money in your account ASAP. So see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Download the FanDuel app today. Sign up with promo code WIBC. You place a $5 bet to get $150 in free bets. It's guaranteed. That's WIBC. 21 plus and present in Indiana. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 800-9 with it.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Only my Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. The result? 28 minutes more restful sleep a night. That's more focus, more edge, and more highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Labor Day. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
Hi, I'm Joe Clark, host of Consider This, found right here Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Grab a cup of coffee and join me as we talk about things you should consider affecting your financial future.
When the weather turns severe, turn to the WIBC Storm Desk, presented by Technology Recyclers, business electronics recycling. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Mind or Lab Grown Diamond Store.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammer, are you okay with this? Joe Nathan James Jr. executed by lethal injection last month for the 94 murder of his ex-girlfriend. But according to an anti-death penalty group, the execution was botched, leaving James subject to 3 hours of pain and suffering because of the botched injection. Are you okay with this?
So Joe Nathan James Jr. is dead, correct?
He is a dead man. He killed his girlfriend in 94.
Then that was not a botched execution. He's dead. That's the point of the execution. Now, listen, maybe we're overthinking this, but I did a little research here, and I looked into the crime of exactly what this guy did, and multiple shots to his girlfriend at the time. Imagine all the pain and all the suffering that young lady's family has gone through and will continue to go through the rest of their life. Someone they love was gunned down for no reason by this worthless piece of crap. And the fact that he had a couple hours of pain and suffering during his, and I can't stress this enough, execution, I am perfectly fine with this. There's a scene in the movie The Green Mile where the sponge was not wet, but the guy ultimately dies.
Yeah.
And you see Tom Hanks walk away. Someone asks him, well, what the hell was that? That was a successful execution. This guy is no longer alive. That was not a botched execution, and I'm 100% fine with this.
Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As long as he's dead, it's not a botched execution.
Right.
Mind blown.
If he was going to get a sandwich, then yes, it was a botched, situation. But they were there to kill the guy, and he's dead.
All right. Are you okay with this? A Southwest Airlines pilot flying to Cabo recently took to the plane's intercom and threatened to return the aircraft to its departure gate at the airport if passengers didn't stop sending nude photos to him via iPhone's AirDrop feature.
So here's the deal. This continues while we're on the ground. I'm going to have to pull back to the gate. Everybody's going to have to get off. We're going to have to get security involved. And it's vacation that's going to be ruined. So you folks, whatever that airdrop thing is, quit sending naked pictures. Let's get yourself to
Are you okay with this?
I'm okay with the pilot doing this, yes. Now, he could get a sense of humor about it. Like, honestly, there's a part of me that's thinking, maybe put down your phone if you're flying the plane. How do you know all these nudes are coming into your phone?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be about to fly my plane and looking at the console and the controls? But at the same time, how ticked off would you be if you didn't get to Cabo because, Matt Baer sent the pilot a picture of Big Jim and the twins, and he kept doing it on AirDrop repeatedly.
Now, AirDrop is like, it's the function on the iPhone where you're able to send digital files to other Apple products that are in close range without using a Wi-Fi or cell data, right? If you have that function turned on your phone, you can send anybody anything.
Right. It's almost like a touch. Your phone gets close to somebody else's phone. Boom, you can send them pictures.
So the pilot, so they were sending them to other people on the plane or the pilot?
The pilot. They found the pilot, I don't know, maybe his phone is connected as Captain Bob or whatever his name is. They sent all these nude photos to him trying to be funny, and it ticked off the pilot, and he threatened to turn this plane right around.
All right, one more here real quick. 2/3 of Americans are now saying they're looking inward and seizing the day by rewarding themselves more. They say the pandemic has caused them to live more in the moment. Are you okay with this?
No, because this is just something fat people say. I'm going to seize the day and reward myself more. More often than not, rewarding yourself means a bucket of chicken.
Yeah, or a box of donuts.
Right, or a 6-pack, 12-pack of Bud Light, whatever it is you're drinking.
That's me.
The reward yourself program only applies like if you've gone above and beyond. Right? Not, I went to work today, mailed it in, now I'm home. Time to reward myself. No, that's just something fat people say.
I don't know. I like my birthday this year. I hadn't had new golf clubs in 20 years.
Okay.
I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, spent $800 on a couple of used drivers and some irons. I think that was I think I rewarded myself.
But it was your birthday, though.
I was kind of like, I did something nice for myself.
But a special occasion like your birthday or Christmas or something like that, fine.
Okay.
But if it's a random Tuesday in April, I went to work today. I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to eat 4 Pop-Tarts. No, you're supposed to go to work, fatty. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A ruling in favor of the church. 82 and sunny on Monument Circle with a clear radar. Blows into the 60s later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. A Catholic school can fire someone because they're in a same-sex marriage, was the ruling of the Indiana Supreme Court. Chris Davis reports on the lawsuit that started the case.
In 2019, Joshua Payne Elliott was fired by the Archdiocese of Indianapolis because he was in a same-sex marriage with a teacher from another Catholic school, Leighton Payne Elliott of Brebeuf. The fired teacher sued, but the court's Wednesday decision says essentially that the Catholic Church and the Archdiocese can practice matters of faith and doctrine with no government interference, including firing someone for religious reasons. Leighton Payne Elliott was also ordered fired, but Brebeuf refused. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The body found at the Dale Cemetery in Connorsville, Indiana, belongs to Thomas Combs. State Police Sergeant Scott Keegan says detectives don't know why his body was left at the cemetery or who shot him. That's why they need your help.
The detectives are reaching out to the public to see if anyone saw or heard anything suspicious in the late hours of the 16th. August 16th, or the early morning of August 17th.
If you know anything about Combs' last days, call the State Police Pendleton District. The U.S. will be sending more help to Ukraine. National Security Council Coordinator John Kirby said an announcement of what that help will look like is going to be made within the next few days. Last week, the president said the nation was sending almost $3 billion in assistance to Ukraine. The FDA is giving emergency use authorization to another booster dose of the Pfizer and Moderna COVID vaccines.
It's just painful to see people dying unnecessarily when there's a free treatment that would prevent their death.
FDA Commissioner Robert Califf, he says the virus evolves and the original vaccine may not be as protective, which is why he recommends getting a booster shot. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, August 31st, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. Even Cambridge has studied our technology. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, worth over $1,200. But call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 317-552-1111.
With traffic at 3:32, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison, South Side, northbound 37 is closed north of Southport Road because of a crash. In the meantime, 135, US 31, both available. Also on the South Side, eastbound 465, slowing up big time, Man Road over to 65. Inbound 70, the stall is cleared. Traffic is not stop and go rural to the north split. Inbound 65, jams at 21st. Traffic sponsored by the Hoosier Hardwood Festival. The Hoosier Hardwood Festival, September 9th through the 11th at the Boone County Fairgrounds. Lumberjacks, chainsaw carvers, woodworking artists, kids zone, equipment sales, and more. Discounts and details at HoosierHardwoodFestival.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear skies remain in place. Low temperature of 63 degrees with lower humidity. Tomorrow, mostly sunny once again, high temperature of 86 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
All right, you are go.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. We'll go to the drivehubler.com hotline and bring on Tony Kinnett from Chalkboard Review. Tony, how are you?
Absolutely stellar.
Were you watching any of the Biden speech yesterday? Where was that at again? He's still
Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
He's kind of storming Pennsylvania right now, right?
Right. He's lobbying for like Fetterman and all these other candidates.
Did you see? I thought one of the funniest parts was when Biden, he's off on this tangent about guns again, and one of the things he said, for those brave right-wing Americans, if you want to fight against the country, You need an F-15. You need something with a little more gun. And I'm thinking, these are the same people that thought democracy was going to get overthrown by Chewbacca guy January 6th. And now Biden's a tough guy all of a sudden. What did you think?
I mean, I'm absolutely nonplussed. I love seeing him get up there and say nonsense like this, as though we didn't just lose an over decade-long war against a group of people who had no F-15s or any air superiority of any kind. Classic guerrilla warfare has been known for centuries. I don't care how advanced the technology is. It's only as good as its ability to resupply and its ability to maintain infrastructure, something that you can't do. People think that, if you just have really big nukes and whatever, that Swalwell said earlier a couple of years ago that, they were going to nuke Americans. This kind of nonsense is just some kind of authoritarian showboat. It's really embarrassing to think that the federal government has no genuine concept of what the Second Amendment was intended for or how effective guerrilla warfare is, and not to mention how many examples the United States has over the last couple of decades of being fought with it.
And then what did he say about this guy? I swear to God, the basketball comment.
Oh, we played this earlier, yeah.
I was the only white lifeguard, and you could always tell what part of a state has the best basketball. Like, are you serious? Like, the stuff that this guy gets away with. Imagine for a sec. I mean, they're accusing us all the time of dog whistles and secretive handshakes and signals, all kinds of ways that we're secretly racist. Well, this guy goes on national TV, and I remember a couple of years ago he said that poor kids were just as smart as white kids.
Yes.
And now that, oh my God, he genuinely views race like some old Southern guy on the wrong side after the Civil War. It's incredible. And yet people will bend over backwards to defend this man because they have no alternative.
But, Tony, it's folksy racism with Joe Biden. He's telling jokes. He's old. He seems like a nice guy that you want to buy a piece of candy from at a hardware store. It's folksy racism, so he gets a pass.
Oh, I forget if you're on the blue side of the aisle, then any kind of it's good racism. Actually, it's endearing. It's cute. Like, look, when your child accidentally falls on the floor and makes a mess, it's cute when they're small, but. If you're an old person and you walk in and you poop on the floor, that's not endearing to anyone. That's just disgusting.
You guys mentioned his comments about guns last night. AR-15s and F-15s, and he always plays that F-15 card. I'm surprised we didn't get the deer in the Kevlar vest joke last night.
Staple too, yeah.
But it's a little, I don't know, hypocritical if you want to call it that. You're going to get up here and talk about how you want to have some sort of gun control, but you're hyping up this big speech on Thursday night where you are going to claim that the MAGA Republicans are going to take away your rights. Can you really do that? And are people going to fall for that?
I mean, people are definitely not going to fall for that because, of course, it's completely ridiculous. And I really appreciate the late Norm Macdonald saying this about January 6th. He's like, yes, the great domestic terrorist insurgency where they stayed inside the velvet ropes in Statutory Hall. I mean, apparently we're going to be overthrowing the country, but yet our guns aren't good enough to do so. Yet we intend to destroy democracy. Yet we continue to participate in elections. It goes back and forth so much. The average American who's listening to this is obviously discarding this as complete and utter nonsense, which is to be expected from this administration.
Tony Kennett joining us of Chalkboard Review. All right, so let's bring it back a little closer to home here. Last couple of weeks, we've been talking a lot about the Hamilton Southeastern schools, how woke they have gone. And then they had that incident where there was a defund the police school project in the classroom. It was there when the younger brother of the fallen Elwood officer, Noah Shanavaz, was going back to school there, and he had to see that. And this was a big deal, and a lot of things were going on here. What's the latest with this? Because I saw that I believe they were bringing in an attorney to do some sort of independent review. Is that correct?
I mean, they're bringing in a guy who's currently serving as a judge, I believe, or at least that's what the report said from Hamilton Southeastern that Emily Abbott sent over to Chalkboard Review, a lot more timidly this time, who I guess is just going to review the facts of the situation, is what I'm told. I'm always glad to see more data. I said when the entire event was coming out, these are the things we know, these are the things we don't know, this is what we need to wait for. Then the body cam footage was revealed, and dear God, you just have to admire the patience of the police officers in that situation in dealing with her. But then carrying through, and again, continually updating with the story as it comes out, I am ready to see some final information and some answers. But as I've said really quite since the beginning, I don't really blame the teacher in all of this situation for being a progressive advocate in this classroom, because the administration at HSE has been all about progressive advocacy for some time now. This is just par for the course. You're going to get these situations when you hire teachers like this.
And if you are a parent in Hamilton, Southeastern, if you have a kid that goes to Fishers or HSC or wherever, now is the time to study up on who is in your school board. Because Nigel and I talk about this all the time, Tony. Everybody knows who the president candidates are, or even the big high-profile midterm candidates are. It's the local elections. It's the school boards where you really have to do your homework. And if you don't know, or if you just go and vote for whoever you think without doing any sort of studying, this is what you end up with.
I think that's really the most important thing that we can tell people that are listening right now. You need to know who your school board candidates are, because they will pull a fast one over on you. It's so easy to just say, well, everything is so overblown. Actually reach out and talk to the candidates instead of listening to the progressives on one side claiming that, all of these conservative parents are politicizing school boards. I have an article coming out in Daily Wire about that here in a couple of days. Or the other side, they'll say, the liberals are all demon evil people. Just talk to the candidate yourself. And then you can decide, based on your concerns as a parent or a community member, whether they're worthy of your vote. That's how this is supposed to work. And I do think that, especially in Hamilton Southeastern's situation, the school board election is more critical at this point than it has been ever before.
It's something we're speaking with Tony Kinnett with Chalkboard Review. Is something that you hear all the time. Oh, CRT, it's not being taught in schools, blah, 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 blah. I saw an article on your website about the Kentucky school district explicitly naming CRT teacher training materials, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what a shock. After we've been saying this for ages, here is yet another of the dozens and dozens of examples of critical race theory being used explicitly in larger inner city school districts, in suburban area districts that are adopting progressive policies. And this kind of amazingly horrific racism has become more prevalent in our local schools because we have allowed people who don't know what they're talking about, who think that segregation is a positive thing if done correctly. We have allowed that to go unchecked in American education for decades now, and we're simply reaping the whirlwind.
Just about a couple more minutes here left with Tony Kinnett, Chalkboard Review. Just one more thing. The story we had last week that infuriated me, the D.C. Mayor Bowser mandating that kids have to have the vaccine to go to school. I was glad that a judge ruled they kind of halted that mandate a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, rather. But just the very fact that she was going to keep kids out of school for not getting a vaccine for a disease that really doesn't affect them, it makes my blood boil, and I don't get it, Tony.
Well, it's not just that she asked for the school districts to refuse students access to the property. She refused any educational services, period, to students who were not vaccinated from COVID-19, meaning there were no virtual options allowed. They couldn't send you with a Chromebook so you could learn from home. That you couldn't receive meals at home if you were on the district meal plan for impoverished students. No education services of any kind if you didn't have the COVID-19 vaccine, which has yet to be approved as a positive option in mitigating COVID-19 in any child under 15. So it's amazing to see this play out. I mean, of course, she's just posturing. She's virtue signaling. I mean, people are trying to drag this pandemic on long beyond when it actually has been in effect.
Tony, if anybody wants to find out the latest about what's actually happening in schools around the country, or they want to continue a conversation with you, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
You should head over to chalkboardreview.com, follow us there, and you can also find contact forms if you're a parent, teacher, whatever, who's interested in learning more about education. We'd love to hear from you.
Tony Kennett, Chalkboard Review.
Thanks,
we'll do it
man.
again next week, Tony. Thank you.
Sounds great.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I love summer, but I like sending the kids back to school even more. After spending months of tracking in sticky popsicle wrappers, barbecue stains, and several unknown spills from family gatherings and parties, it's time to get those carpets cleaned. Hi, it's Denny Smith, and I only trust Zerorez and their team of knowledgeable technicians to clean my carpets with their patented cleaning process that leaves our home looking its best. So give Zerorez a call today at 317-388-5141 or book online at zeroresindy.com to experience a smarter, lasting clean.
Hammer here for Indy's hometown sportsbook, Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers, Indiana, and tomorrow night, local teams involved in some pretty big, high-profile college football games. Ball State going down to Rocky Top to take on the Tennessee Volunteers. Work is cut out for Ball State. Right now, they are about a 33.5-point underdog at Tennessee. Meanwhile, up in West Lafayette, this is a big one. Penn State at Purdue. Purdue is a home underdog in that game. That's going to be a good matchup. Get your bets in right now. Bet Rivers, Indiana. And remember, college football Saturdays, when you got the full slate of games, there's a parlay profit boost. So always check the promotions, the daily specials, and the odds boosts when you play at Bet Rivers, Indiana. Nobody gives you the chance to win more money than Bet Rivers, Indiana. Must be a resident of Indiana, 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hello, this is a message from the office of Congresswoman Victoria Spartz. Each year, members of Congress nominate students to attend the Military Academy, Naval Academy, Air Force Academy, and Merchant Marine Academy. To be considered for a nomination, applicants must fulfill certain criteria and apply before October 14th. Please see more details and apply online at our website, sparts.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
As a parent, you want the best education for your child. Choose Marian University Preparatory School for this school year. Their faith-based online private school is currently enrolling students in grades 6 through 9. Your child will benefit from their personalized college prep curriculum and supportive community. Financial aid is available through the Indiana Choice Scholarship. To learn more about the unique educational experience of Marian University Preparatory School, visit k12.com/Marian. That's k12.com/MARIAN.
Your Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Visit the Marion Municipal Airport for high flying fun at the Fly-In Cruise End September 3rd. Discover antique aircraft, vintage cars, trucks, motorcycles, and autocycles. Take flight in historic aircraft and fill up at the all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast. Get details at showmegrantcounty.com. Grant County, Indiana. Classic cool.
Your Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Let Pierce Jewelers in Carmel take your older jewelry and gemstones and repurpose them into something new and exciting for that special occasion in your life. So shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Do you know a volunteer who deserves a year's worth of free vehicle maintenance? Tell us their story and nominate them. Click the Do More tab at jiffylubeindiana.com.
Help B Window fight ovarian cancer. During September, B will donate up to 1% of sales to help fight ovarian cancer. This is Pam Faber, bwindow.com for symptoms and details.
Trust me.
All right, Matt Bear, what's the latest?
All right, we are looking at northbound 37. And this is on the south side crash, man. And 37 is closed north of Southport Road. And it has a little bit of a backup. In the meantime, 135 and 31 are options. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Help favors B Window fight ovarian cancer. During September, B Window will donate up to 1% of sales to help fight ovarian cancer. Visit bwindow.com for symptoms and details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Beautiful sunshine shining down on Monument Circle right now. 82 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
I thought that was really good.
Nope.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Coming up after 4 o'clock, an arrest made for the murder of the Dutch commando soldier outside of the Hampton Inn over the weekend. Also, are we talking to somebody from the Murder Sheet podcast?
Yes, Anye, who's part of the Murder Sheet podcast. There's some activity going on in the Wabash, and there's some chatter that it might have something to do with Keegan Kline, who might have something to do with the Delphi situation. So we're going to try to put all of these puzzle pieces together just after 4.
Listen to this audio I have right here. This cop in Alabama. He was, I don't know, serving a warrant or coming back from serving some documents at a house. And he found a goat in his car eating all his paperwork.
Oh, no.
Listen to him try to wrangle the goat out of his car.
Are you kidding me? Get out. There's nothing to eat in there. Get out of there. Don't eat that. Come on. Get out.
I'm going to ask you to play that again in just a second, James. But again, great moments in humans shooing away animals' history. Usually it's like we have audio of a guy trying to like shoo away a bear or something that's into bird feeder. Go on, get.
Bear? No.
But this time I love the sound the cop makes. He goes, get out of here.
Are you kidding me? Get out. Get out. There's nothing to eat in there. Get out of there. Don't eat that. Come on.
And again.
Get out.
Again, just another reason why cops aren't paid nearly what they should be paid.
Now, we're going to play this just one more time here.
Okay.
I want you to listen to this. This sounds just like what my wife tells me on Thanksgiving night after I've spent all day eating, but I still open up the fridge and look for something.
Are you kidding me? Get out. There's nothing to eat in there. Get out of there. Don't eat that. Come on. Get out.
That's Crystal yelling, you shut the refrigerator.
You don't need those deviled eggs. No, you've had 5. You've had 4 plates of food. No, there's nothing in there.
I love it.
Let's crank up a little booze news, shall we?
You set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. One by one.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze News, Booze News. Time for Booze News.
Tell me if this does anything for you here, Nige.
All right.
Hardee's has teamed up with a brewery for a beer that includes its signature biscuits.
Beer that tastes like biscuits?
They're including them in the mix here. So Hardee's and Southern Grist Brewery, they've come up with a recipe for strawberry biscuit ale.
Hell yeah, that does something for me. Sure.
It calls for more than 200 pounds of Hardee's biscuits mixed with the blend of a strawberry puree and the special brew. It's going to start in Nashville at a special tap room, Southern Grist Tap Room, and then it will be available around the nation shortly afterwards.
We got to do this for Beer Sample Friday for sure. Now, I'd be down. So it's a strawberry. Come on, give me some cinnamon raisin biscuits.
Oh,
fused
man.
With some beer, like back in the day. I don't know if Hardee's has those anymore, but when I was a kid, man, cinnamon raisin biscuits from Hardee's is where it was at.
Is that where the California raisins came from when Hardee's was promoting that? Anybody that's around my age, 44 years old, you remember that.
We got them laying around our house. My wife still had them when she was a kid, and my kids play with them now down in the basement.
The little action figures, the California raisins?
Yeah.
They had like a Christmas special once on TV, and it was awful. It was so freaking bad. Like the California raisins are singing Christmas songs.
I love collecting them. I never saw the Christmas special, though.
More booze news. A bar in Los Angeles has raised the minimum age to enter to 30 years old for weekend nights.
Oh, that's funny. Keeping out all the kids that don't know how to drink and get out of control. That's hilarious.
There's a video going around of a couple of younger chicks getting denied at the door. And the guy at the door, the bouncer, says, when you're 30, you'll understand. So is this just about the folks in there that just want to have some drinks,
that's it.
be around adults, and not have to deal with 21-year-old rowdy drunk chick?
Exactly.
I'm smoking the wrong end of a cigarette. You don't want to be around that pain in the ass if you're just going out for a couple drinks, do you?
Hell, I'd go to a bar that banned people under 40 at this point in my life.
Right? Again, I posted about this earlier today. When it first happened, it kind of made me laugh. But now, the more I think about it, what Tom Brady said the other day makes so much sense.
I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on. So, you just gotta try to figure out life the best you can. And, it's a continuous process.
Got a lot of bleep going on.
Got a lot of bleep going on. Every middle-aged dude in America, no matter how you feel about Tom Brady, kind of feels that statement. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Old National Bank is asking businesses to get old. But first, they have questions.
Who runs my business if I get old?
You do. You can get old and remain young.
Is that possible?
With a commercial bank as good as Old National, yes.
What will it feel like to get old?
Well, business owners describe a feeling of euphoria, having local decision-making and committed relationship bankers.
Okay, one old guy coming up.
Introducing Old National Bank, where business relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC.
Family Dollar knows there's still more summer to enjoy. Shop our Labor Day event and find it all. More refreshment. Buy 2 Coke 12-packs and get 1 free. More for the salty cravings. Get 2 Doritos, Lay's, or Sun Chips bags for just $5. More for your cookout with grilling tools, charcoal, and grills at great value. And keep everything sparkling clean after the festivities with more of your favorite cleaning products. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box, all for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible gateway.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
At Franciscan Health, we're inspired by what moves you and how you move through life. So if you're suffering from joint pain and want to get back to an active lifestyle, Franciscan Health Mooresville and Carmel, home to the Center for Hip and Knee Surgery, is your best move. Our world-renowned orthopedic surgeons offer the latest advancements in total joint replacement, including outpatient surgery. If you're ready to get moving with less pain, request an appointment at centerforhipandkneesurgery.org.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Do you have a wet basement problem? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, Indy's most trusted basement waterproofer. Your basement is a very important part of your home. Whether it's finished or unfinished, there's nothing worse than a wet, unusable basement. Swanco's basement waterproofing will fix your wet, unusable basement permanently and forever. Protect your greatest asset, your home, by waterproofing your basement today. Call the real, local, family-owned waterproofing experts at Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, 317-407-1868 or SwancoLLC.com.
When the weather turns severe, turn to the WIBC Storm Desk, presented by Technology Recyclers, certified electronics recycling. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Help B Window fight ovarian cancer. During September, B will donate up to 1% of sales to help fight ovarian cancer. This is Pam Favor. BWindow.com for symptoms and details.
Trust me.
Coming up in 2 minutes, your local news stories from around Indiana after Fox News Radio. From the Shepherd Community Center studios, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Photographic proof of top-secret materials. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. In a new court filing, the Justice Department says it has evidence former President Trump's legal team concealed and removed classified material from Mar-a-Lago.
And that efforts were likely taken to obstruct the government's investigation. The filing includes a photograph of materials recovered during the August 8th search showing top-secret markings. Before a search warrant was obtained, the court filing says attorneys for former President Trump claimed all records from the White House that remained at Mar-a-Lago were in a secure storage room. Investigators say some classified documents were found in a desk drawer during the search.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Federal health regulators have authorized updated COVID-19 boosters, the first to directly target today's most common Omicron strain. Today's move by the Food and Drug Administration tweaks the recipe of shots made by Pfizer and Moderna.
The FDA has extensive experience with evaluating strain changes for influenza vaccines and is confident in the data supporting these latest booster authorizations.
FDA Commissioner Robert Califf, the reformulated boosters will contain half a dose of the original vaccine, with the other half designed to target the BA4 and BA5 variants. The hope is the modified boosters will blunt yet another winter surge. The CDC is out with a new report showing the pandemic has affected how long we live.
If you go back in U.S. history, you have to go 100 years to see such a drop in life expectancy. Just 3 years ago, the average American lived to age 79. Right now, that number is down to 76.
Fox's Steve Harrigan. Drug overdose deaths from the opioid crisis also playing a role. A fourth straight day of losses on Wall Street. The Dow ending the day down 279 points. The S&P falling 31, with the NASDAQ 67 points lower the last trading day of the month. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He was fired and lost the legal battle. 82 and sunny on Monument Circle. Nothing on your radar, and it should stay that way tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. He may not get his job back. Joshua Payne Elliott may not get any legal satisfaction. He was fired for being in a same-sex marriage.
The court's Wednesday decision was that a lawsuit filed by former Cathedral High School teacher Joshua Payne Elliott would not be reinstated. Payne Elliott married a teacher at another Catholic school, Brebeuf, in 2017. After he was fired, his husband, Leighton Payne Elliott, was also ordered fired. Brebeuf refused and was dropped from the Archdiocese of Indianapolis. The Vatican later restored that school. The court says matters of faith and doctrine get no interference from the government. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Marion County Prosecutor's Office filed charges against Ryan Ridner Monday, who fired shots at police from his home on the Southwest Side last week. He faces 2 counts of attempted murder, criminal recklessness, and resisting law enforcement. He's due in court tomorrow. Tariq Radford L., who was arrested after a Whiteland High School student was shot and killed last week, has now been formally charged with murder, says the Johnson County Prosecutor's Office. If convicted, the 18-year-old could spend up to 65 years behind bars. IU Health has added a designated monkeypox testing site.
Having a testing lab in the state allows us to provide a turnaround time to Indiana residents much more quickly than they had previously experienced.
Jessica Isaac with IU Health. They'll be able to return test results within 1 or 2 days. Old buildings can tell you a lot about the city or town where you live. Indiana Landmarks is trying to help some of the most endangered properties in Indiana by making people aware, says Indiana Landmarks President Marsh Davis on Inside Indiana Business.
The purpose of this list is not to criticize a property owner or a community. It's really to help find a solution.
That could mean a renovation or preservation in some way to keep it standing. The 10 most endangered lists for the year is at IndianaLandmarks.org. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider.
Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most Root Metrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, here's the northbound 37 closed north of Southport Road because of a crash. Also on the south side, eastbound 465, stop and go a man, then jams at Harding over to Emerson. Inbound 65 stopped at 21st Street. On the northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go 86 up to 865. Eastbound 465 slows up on the northeast side, Keystone over to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Find great people fast with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, skies will remain mostly clear, low temperature of 63 degrees, still comfortable. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, another gorgeous day out there. High temperature reaches 86 degrees. And the nice weather continues into Friday. Mostly sunny skies remain in place. A little bit more humid. High temperature of 87 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
Sunny and 82. I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
All right, Hammer. So police have arrested a 22-year-old taken into custody for allegedly shooting the Dutch commando soldier outside of the Hampton Inn, just a few blocks away here at Monument Circle, late Saturday night. And this story's gotten international attention, and I'm just glad. A lot of good info on the police affidavit. I'm just glad this guy is being brought to justice.
22-year-old Shamar Duncan in custody. And if you go through the affidavit, you'll find out that this guy, Duncan, was down there with two other rowdy buddies, and they just kept going around looking for problems. The incident with the Dutch soldiers, according to witnesses and what we have on the affidavit, wasn't the first incident of the night, and it wasn't the last incident of the night.
They were being a-holes.
Right. They were looking for problems,
yeah,
looking for fights, and ultimately they were able to track this guy down because of the help of the community. There were witnesses that were willing to cooperate. There were cell phone videos that were given to the police, surveillance video where they were able to identify Duncan as the shooter. So a lot of people coming together. That doesn't happen a whole lot around Indianapolis, Nigel. We've talked about that a lot.
We talked about the practice of, or the mantra of snitches get stitches. But in this case, it sounds like there were a lot of witnesses willing to cooperate with police and share video footage they'd taken on their phone, and man, I'm glad they got this guy. This should have never happened, and it sounds like, according to the Indy Star, good reporting from the Indy Star, that they were looking for a fight, not the soldiers, but Duncan and the two other dudes that were with him, who should also be arrested and charged with murder as well if they were involved in this.
On the probable cause affidavit, it says that the group that Duncan was with crossed over the streets over there by the Indy Star building, crossed over to the streets to the bar areas. They got into an altercation with, at one point, the three Dutch soldiers. one of the Dutch soldiers knocked out somebody, and then they tried to just walk away and defuse the situation. But then they went and got a weapon. The bad guys got the weapon, came back, saw these guys walking back to their hotel and opened up fire. Yeah. Drive-by shooting. So arrest has been made. He is in custody, and we'll have more information as it develops. Another interesting local story is what's happening with the Wabash River. Now, let's go to the drivehubler.com hotline and bring on Anya Kane. She is part of the Murder Sheet podcast that she does with Kevin Greenlee, and they have been all over the Delphi murders.
Yeah, didn't you have them in studio when I was on vacation, I feel like, in May, I think?
Correct. They came in studio.
Yeah, I was listening to that. Wow, compelling stuff, man.
And Anya, walk us through what's happening in regards to how divers are going into the Wabash River and how that's tied into Keegan Kline and possibly the Delphi investigation.
Yes, and thank you guys so much for having Kevin and I. Basically, what we saw on August 23rd was that we got a tip from an anonymous source who told us that there was ISP, Indiana State Police activity down at the river. We raced up to Peru. This is the Wabash River, very, very shallow. And we go on a pedestrian bridge and watch about a team of 12 or so people in the water who appear to be sort of in the shallow water. They're on their hands and knees. They're kind of, looking down in the water. They're seemingly digging. They're putting down flags. So we saw a lot of activity, and that activity actually continued, according to our sources, for a number of days afterwards. So they were out there for a long time. Indiana State Police would not confirm that it was Delphi linked, but our anonymous sources told us that it is linked.
But how did you know? How was this linked to Keegan Kline?
Well, it turns out that a few days earlier, about a week earlier, Keegan Kline's defense attorney filed a motion with the court asking that a pre-trial conference be delayed because Keegan Kline, his client, was in negotiations. Shortly after that, more paperwork was filed, which put Keegan Kline temporarily in the custody of the Indiana State Police. And that was about the same time this search began.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, Kevin, do we know... I mean, we can only speculate at this point, but is there any insight on what these negotiations could have been about?
We have not been able to get official word, but I think we can all put two and two together and come up with some pretty educated and informed guesses.
Well, you guys have been at the forefront of this story. You guys have scooped a lot of the mainstream media when it comes to this. And again, I'm just asking for your opinion. Nothing that's concrete here. What do you think these discussions were about?
We believe the discussions probably were linked to the river search, and that something may have come out of some of those discussions. Basically, maybe there was something for police to check in on in the river or evidence that could be obtained. But we think that the two events are linked, although, of course, we're speculating somewhat here.
Was there more, and forgive me if you guys discussed this when you were here a couple of months ago. I was out of town. I was listening on the beach, actually. It was an amazing, fascinating conversation, and thank you for the work that you're doing on this. But was there more than one person associated with that Anthony Schatz account besides Keegan Kline? Because we know they communicated with the victims of Delphi. That account was communicating with them. But was there more than one account user? Was there more than one person on the account? Do you know that?
Yes, and that's a spot-on question. Basically, what we know is from the August 2020 police transcript of their conversation with Keegan Kline back when they first arrested him. They basically told him, we know that somebody else was using this account based on the language choices, the diction, and they both are based in your household in Peru, Indiana. So they were pretty clear that they felt another person was associated with this.
We're speaking with Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee. They do the Murder Sheet podcast. They've done amazing work and finding out as much as we can about the Delphi investigation, the deaths of Abby and Libby a number of years ago. Have you had a chance to speak to any of the family members? Like, have they reached out to you in regards to your work?
Yes, we have a relationship with the family. At this point, we basically flag with them if we're going to be reporting on new information in the case and just kind of giving them a heads up so that they're aware of what we're working on. And unfortunately, it's obviously, it's unsolved for them. This is personal. This is their daughter, granddaughter, sister. These girls were beloved by their family, friends, community. So we very much try to keep in mind the families and let them know what we're doing.
And I know you guys don't ever want to do anything to jeopardize the police investigation, but do you, like when you get a tip like the one you got, the source or whatever about the river, before you put stuff out there, do you check with authorities to say, hey, look, we have this information, we want to put it out there? Do you ask for permission, or do you basically just find out if it's going to jeopardize the investigation or not?
Yeah, we kind of see it as like an ongoing conversation, right?
Okay.
And in a conversation that, maybe sometimes there's disagreements, but we definitely do not want to do anything to jeopardize this case. There's actually been a lot of things that we have held back from reporting on, either temporarily or sort of just kind of, even to this day, because we were basically told in no uncertain terms that it could be harmful, and we don't want to do anything. Of course, as the media, we're not always in lockstep with police on our assessment of what's harmful, but I would say in general, we definitely take their concerns very seriously.
And so you're saying there's some things that you have had to hold back that might raise concern or even surprise people if they knew?
Yeah, I think it's more of like little, I would say, leads here and there.
Okay.
Sometimes if you get a sense that maybe something is active or maybe the police might want to speak with somebody first, we try to be respectful and basically let them do their jobs. And we don't want to put the story ahead of the case.
Sure.
One more thing here before we let you go. Again, we're speaking with Anya and Kevin of the Murder Sheet podcast. Again, Keegan Kline has not been charged with anything in regards to the murders of Abby and Libby. He is being charged and held right now on separate child porn possession, but he had conversations with one of those girls. Do we know anything more about the conversations? I believe this was taking place at his father's house. Has there been any other conversations about, did his dad know what was going on or anything of those nature?
Yeah, I think certainly from putting together 2 and 2 from the August 2020 police transcripts, it appears that police were referencing somebody else living in that Peru household with Keegan as possibly having access. And some of their questions really seem to circle around his father. And so that's something that we've paid a lot of attention to. And, in terms of Libby being in touch with Anthony Schatz, a man who she thought was much younger and, kind of a male model possibly, she expressed interest, apparently, according to detectives in that transcript, in meeting this person who she thought was somebody else.
Now, the bodies of these young ladies were found, so I'm curious about this search of the Wabash River. Do you have any sort of idea when you could find out what the search was about? Are they looking for laptops, maybe other victims? Do we have any sort of clue what this search was about?
We have no official confirmation. We can speculate that it could potentially be, we know that the killer removed some trophy items from the victims' bodies. It could also be something like a murder weapon or perhaps another electronic device.
Got it. For those who want to continue learning about this investigation, how do they get a hold of you? Where can they find you?
We're on all podcast platforms as far as we know. And you could just look up the Murder Sheet wherever you listen to podcasts. And all of our episodes on Delphi are marked the Delphi Murders. So if you're mostly interested in that case, you can kind of follow along and listen to that coverage.
Well, you guys have been doing a great job, and you have the documentation to back up all of your claims. You've been doing just some good old-fashioned grassroots hustling to scoop a lot of the media around this nation on this story. Keep up the good work, and please keep us up to date.
Thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
South side, northbound 37 closed north of Southport Road because of a crash. And while we're on the south side, eastbound 465 stop 70 over to the White River, then stop and go before 31 over to Emerson Avenue. Inbound 65 jams at 21st, and then eastbound 70 to downtown, stop and go Harding to the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. The hottest summer deals are at Mattress Firm. Shop the best sale of the year and save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Plus, you'll even get a $300 instant gift good towards sleep accessories. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
82 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything next?
Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens. Sundown has a large selection of container and balled and burlap trees in stock, and they're 30% off through September 4th. Now's a great time to plant before we get late into the fall season. Find that perfect shade tree you always wanted or a wonderful ornamental tree to finish off your landscape beds. Follow Sundown Gardens on Facebook and Instagram. Lots of fall fun's coming to Sundown Gardens in the next few months. Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Springmill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Hammer here for Indy's hometown sportsbook, Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers, Indiana. Big-time college football games for some local teams get going tomorrow night. Ball State down at Rocky Top taking on the Tennessee Vols. Tennessee is a 35-point favorite. The over-under sitting at 68 right now. But, of course, the big game featuring the Big Ten, Purdue hosting Penn State. Purdue is getting 3.5. Purdue is a home underdog, over-under set at 53.5. Get those bets in now and enjoy the entire slate of college football at Bet Rivers, Indiana. Every Saturday, when you make a parlay that has at least 3 legs on it, you can get a 20% profit boost if your bet hits. And this is why I love Bet Rivers. They're always giving you, the player, the opportunity to win the most money. I mean, let's be honest, that's what it's about. So why would you play anywhere else? Bet Rivers, Indiana. Must be a resident of Indiana, 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
There's a lot depending on your heart, which is why Community Health Network has put the experts and technology in place to provide the most extensive cardiovascular care in your neighborhood. From preventive care to life-saving interventions, our numerous Indiana locations provide the right care for your needs. Because with every heart we save, we prevent another from breaking. To learn more, visit eCommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Only my Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. The result? 28 minutes more restful sleep a night. That's more focus, more edge, and more highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Labor Day. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything? On 93 WIBC.
Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I will run a couple different stories by you. You are going to break down all the information. You're going to process it. You're going to weigh out the pros and the cons, and you will tell us if these stories are anything or not.
Hit me.
Is this anything? A guy celebrating his 18th birthday at the Royals and Padres game in Kansas City caught a Juan Soto home run ball, which is cool. But then some dude yanked it out of his glove and took off with it. Here is the birthday boy talking all about it.
Telling my friend that went with me, I was like, Juan Soto's going to hit one to me. Just watch.
Soto belts it into deep right center field.
Gone.
From the crack of the bat, I knew it was coming right to me, so I stood up in my seat and snagged it right out of the air, and it felt pretty awesome. I was just kind of scared. I didn't know what on earth was going on. I just wasn't trying to fight him for it.
It was kind of a bad situation, but all in all, it turned into something really good.
When I see something like this happen, we've all seen footage of, somebody throws a hockey puck at over the glass at a game, and an adult steals it out of a little kid's hands.
Right.
Or somebody steals a baseball. Some adult, jackass goes like he did here, and actually yanks it out of his glove. That infuriates me. I just want to punch the guy in the face.
Right. You're a grown-ass adult.
Yeah.
Technically, this is an 18-year-old, so he's an adult too, but come on.
But yanking... Putting your hand in the glove, yanking it out, and then running away. First of all, that guy should be banned for life. They should find out who that guy is, ban him for life. Now, at the end of this, when he said, yeah, it all turned out good, I was reading that the Royals gave him 2 sign balls, which were autographed by Juan Soto, plus every bobblehead the Royals have given out this year.
So he got a little something from the Padres and the Royals out of this. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Juan Soto, a big name in baseball, right? I mean,
yes.
That's a home run ball you want to
the home run derby winner. So he was the big trade deadline piece that the Padres picked up. He's a stud, and good for the Royals for making this right.
If I was a dad and somebody hits a baseball, my son bends over to pick it up at a home run, and an adult comes over there and grabs it out of his hand, there's filth, flarn, filth flying out of my mouth, and possibly fists.
Right. Like my youngest son has been at a Pacers game before, and sometimes they'll shoot like little basketballs out of a cannon or something like that. He catches that stuff and he finds a little kid to give it to, and he's like 12 years old.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
Is this anything? A 37-year-old police officer right here in Indiana named Ralph Weaver is being accused of posing as a different police officer from a different department and then complaining about his misconduct. Here is Sergeant Carrie Hulls talking about the case.
I received that email myself stating, information that was going on at New Albany Police Department that was possibly not being looked into properly. So obviously it raised our eyebrows. When our detectives looked into it, they realized that the name that was on the email account that was supposedly a New Albany police officer had no knowledge of such an email being sent.
This is something. I feel like we talked about this, or this was another case with the Carmel Police Department or something, where there was
he stole the identity of somebody in Georgia to rip on another officer on a Facebook thread.
So this is a separate incident.
Yes.
So let me get this straight. The dude, Ralph Weaver, accusing of posing as a different police officer from a different department, and then whining about misconduct. So it's a case of him impersonating an officer by another officer.
Right.
So I'm a little confused on this, but yeah, if you're a police officer, you shouldn't be stealing identities, and you definitely want to, if somebody's doing something wrong within the department, you definitely want to make that known.
Right.
You don't want to hide that, but at the same time, don't. How can you be charged with impersonating an officer if you are indeed a police officer?
Sure. You can't walk around and tell people you're Chick McGee and then bitch and complain about the radio industry. It doesn't work that way.
I'm in the radio industry.
I'm Dave Smiley. What the hell? Boy, that Dave Smiley was really harsh on social media. Is this anything? Han Solo's prop blaster gun that Harrison Ford used in Star Wars sold for over $1 million at an auction. They expected it would be high, around 500,000 or 600,000, but it went for over $1 million. Here's the spokesman for the auction.
We sold Alexander Hamilton's holster pistols that he used in Rep War for $1 million. We sold John Wayne's gun that he used in True Grit for $550,000. We sold Ulysses S. Grant's Remingtons for $5.2 million the last auction. But I think this will be the most iconic guns, the most remembered that we've had.
For a third and final time at $900,000, last call, and fair warning, sold $900,000.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I always wanted one. She said 900,000, but it tops $1 million due to the auction fees. I always wanted Han Solo's pistol that he used in Star Wars. And when they finally made replicas and started coming out with those things, I wore it out. They had to buy remember my parents had to buy me another one because I wore it out to the full point where it wasn't working anymore. And it had the laser blast sound effect.
Right.
It took batteries. Always wanted that. They can imagine having the real one, $1 million. Again, I'm not memorabilia dude, but that'd be something pretty cool to have on display, hanging up, right outside your home theater or something like that. Yeah, that's something for sure.
So they rattled off some of the things that went for over $1 million. Which one of these would you rather have? The Harrison Ford Han Solo blaster gun from the movie, or the actual holster that Alexander Hamilton used
I heard that. That was
when he met his demise?
Yeah, no, I want the Star Wars prop gun. I want the laser pistol for sure.
Han Solo was a winner. We like winners around here. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Wounded Warrior Project really gave me everything I needed to become who I once was.
Right now at Tire Discounters, we'll knock off up to $220 on a set of select tires when you donate any amount to the Wounded Warrior Project. Let's hear more from veterans they've helped.
They've given me confidence.
It's been pretty much priceless.
They gave me this big smile.
We hope you'll stop in, get a great deal on tires, and give a little. It's our turn.
And there's a pretty big reason why Window Nation windows are the best there is. They've installed over 1 million windows in over 150,000 homes. My house is one of them. You can let their numbers do the talking, especially with the back-to-school sale they have going on right now. Pay nothing down with no interest until 2025. 2 free windows with every 2 you buy.
How about this deal? Buy 2 windows and get 2 for free. Any style at all, and there's no limit. If you want to buy 4, you get 4 for free. You want to buy 8, you get 8 for free. And if that's not enough, no payments, no down payments, no interest until 2025. Call Window Nation right now. You do not want to miss out on this deal. At least get the conversation started so you can lock the deal in. 866-90-NATION. Even if you're just thinking or toying with the idea of getting windows, call Window Nation now so you don't miss out. 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile, and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and autopay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most Root Metrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Formally charged. Sunny and 82 in the circle with a clear radar. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. Last week, Tamario Stokes was killed at his bus stop in Greenwood. Today, Tariq Radfordell was formally charged with murder. He had been in jail on a preliminary charge since he was caught.
Officers arrived, located a 16-year-old male who had been shot multiple times on the ground in the intersection.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen charging documents say Stokes was shot in the arm, back, and head. Witnesses told police that Radfordell kept shooting after Stokes was down, then ran into a cornfield. He was caught coming out 3 hours later. Indiana Supreme Court has upheld the firing of Cathedral High School teacher Joshua Payne Elliott for being in a same-sex marriage. The court ruled the Catholic Archdiocese of Indianapolis has church autonomy protection under the First Amendment. Payne Elliott taught at Cathedral for 13 years before he was fired in June 2019. The White House is trying to help schools deal with staff shortages. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona says the American Rescue Plan will help them fund new programs.
Then we need to back that up with stronger teacher preparation programs and improved working conditions, leadership pathways, increased teacher engagement, and authentic use of teacher voices as we reimagine schools.
He also says there are ways to help teachers with their student loans. Florida is suing the FDA to get approval of its plan to import prescription drugs from Canada. Governor Ron DeSantis says the president is getting in the way.
Biden is saying he wants this for consumers, but yet his administration is not willing to act to be able to approve it so that people have access to more affordable pharmaceuticals.
Florida has been waiting on approval for more than a year. The FDA approved today Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 booster shots for those 18 and older. The vaccine is supposed to be more effective against the latest subvariants of Omicron. Your stock report, the Dow down 280 points to 31,510. The NASDAQ also down 66, closing at 11,816. And the S&P 500 dropping 31 points to 3,955. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, August 31st, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. Even Cambridge has studied our technology. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, worth over $1,200. But call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 317-552-1111.
With traffic at 4:35, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison, northwest side, northbound 465 stops, 79th Street up to 865. Inbound 65 jams at 21st to the north split. East side, southbound 465, full house before 70 down to south at Shadeland Avenue. And on the southwest side, southbound 465, barely moving bumper to bumper from Sam Jones to the White River. Traffic sponsored by the Hoosier Hardwood Festival. The Hoosier Hardwood Festival, September 9th through the 11th at the Boone County Fairgrounds. Lumberjacks, chainsaw carvers, woodworking artists, Kids Zone equipment sales, and more. Discounts and details at HoosierHardwoodFestival.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear skies remain in place. Low temperature of 63 degrees with lower humidity. Tomorrow, mostly sunny once again. High temperature of 86 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Yeah, remember the Summer of Love 2020? Many cities across the country on fire, relentless riots every night. And Democrat leaders allowing it to go on night after night. And the woke of the woke created these funds, these charitable bail organizations to bail out the rioters that were arrested.
Right.
Right. And most notably in Minnesota, this guy, Sean Tillman, released from what they had, what was known as the Minnesota Freedom Fund. Kamala Harris raised a lot of money for the Minnesota Freedom Fund. This guy, Sean Tillman, got out, used that, now arrested for murder.
June 1st of 2020, this is a tweet from Kamala Harris. If you're able to chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota. And she had a link where you can make donations. Okay, so we've got Sean Tillman, who was bailed out because of this, now busted for murder. Previously, the Minnesota Freedom Fund bailed out peaceful protester Lionel Timms, who was later rearrested after bail for an alleged assault that left the victim with a fractured skull and traumatic brain injury.
Boy, this sounds familiar, doesn't it? The Bail Project.
Previously, the Minnesota Freedom Fund helped free 37-year-old man accused of raping an 8-year-old girl.
God. These people.
Previously, the Minnesota Freedom Fund bailed out a man who allegedly broke into the home of a 71-year-old woman, tortured her, and curb stomped a man, robbing another man who walked in with a cane, all the same day that George Floyd had died. So these freedom funds, these bail projects, these low bail outlets where woke celebrities and politicians encourage you to make donations for, this is what happens.
Yeah, and Joe Biden's trying to paint Republicans as the ones that want violence. And yet they're the ones, but Democrats are the ones bailing them out of jail.
Right.
Bailing violent felons out of jail.
And these people, when they were jailed, it wasn't because they were protesting too loud or their sign wasn't city ordinance size. These were violent people locked up. Because keep in mind what was going on at the time. The police were so busy and understaffed trying to make sure that their cities didn't burn to the ground or Molotov cocktails weren't thrown in your car. You had to be a complete lunatic for the officers to take you to jail that weekend. These people fit that category, and lo and behold, look what happens here. We got some more legal stuff here. Elon Musk trying to back out of this Twitter deal, and now he's citing that there's a whistleblower as a reason to get the hell out of this thing. The legal team for Elon shared that a whistleblower from Twitter is indeed cause for the end of Elon Musk's plan to buy the social media platform.
So what's this all about? The bots? All about the bots on Twitter. They didn't want to buy. I don't think he ever wanted to buy Twitter to begin with. I think he almost got goaded into this. I think he liked the attention, certainly. He liked the idea of this bastion of conservatism, this Elon Musk, when he's not a conservative.
No.
By the way, furthest thing from. I mean, he was going to bring freedom of speech back to the conservatives. And I think he liked the attention and got a little in over his head with this. And I think this is a pretty big annoyance.
I do think he's in on freedom of speech, though. I do think he's a guy that likes the freedom of speech.
Maybe. I mean, he's got giant business ties to China. China's one of Tesla's biggest markets. They gave him low-interest loans. They gave Musk cheap land, lots of incentives to build that Shanghai facility. They gave him loans. And I think, quite frankly, there's the whole SpaceX thing, too, where the United States and SpaceX, the United States worried that their SpaceX is going to be compromised by China, trying to gain access to classified info because of all the foreign suppliers that might have ties to Beijing. Trust me, Marco Rubio had it right when he said to the Wall Street Journal, I think this is in May, quote, any company operating in China is going to be pressured and exploited by the Chinese Communist Party. And so I don't know if Musk is like this big bastion of free speech that everybody thinks he is. I think he's all about one thing, and that's them dollar bills, y'all.
Now, for those who aren't quite sure what the whistleblower claim was, there was an insider at Twitter that came out and said that Twitter's not compliant with the 2011 consent order from the FTC to increase security on the site, and that it's incredibly vulnerable to security hacks by foreign governments. To which Elon Musk was like, and you're still not knocking any money off this price? You lied to me about the bots. Yeah. This whole thing is not protected at all. People can hack in at any moment. You're still pushing left-wing bullcrap out there. I'm not paying market value for this.
Tell you what, I'll give you $100,000 and maybe throw in a dirty 30 case of Keystone Light. We'll call it even. How's that?
Sounds like a deal. Shake on it. More legal stuff. The FBI has been issued a lawsuit by the only surviving member of the band The Monkees, Mickey Dolenz.
And the FBI is just not having a good run. Guy from the Monkees is suing him now? Why?
Mickey Dolenz is suing the FBI on any cases that involve him, his deceased bandmates, or the band itself. Now, for those who aren't sure which one Mickey Dolenz is on the old TV show The Monkees, he was the drummer, had the dark kind of curly hair, and he sang the lead on this.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
So I guess the Monkees were investigated by the FBI twice. Once for alleged anti-Vietnam War activities in 1967.
Yeah. Something about subliminal messages or something in their music videos or whatever.
Right. And another for which a lot of the information has been redacted. So the surviving member of the Monkees now coming out against the FBI.
I thought they were too busy singing to bring anybody down. Hammer? The Monkees, too busy singing to bring... I thought that was the lyric. This Hammer walking away. You didn't like my dad joke? I didn't like the Monkees were too busy... Anybody? Hello? Anybody? There you go. Thank you, James. We'll be right back.
Hello. This is a message from the office of Congresswoman Victoria Spartz. Are you having an issue with any federal agency or need help navigating the complex federal bureaucracy? If so, if you live in Indiana's 5th Congressional District, Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has 2 district offices here to assist you with Social Security issues, Medicare claims, veterans benefits, IRS issues, passport applications, Service Academy appointments, and a variety of other services. Representative Spartz's Northeast office is located in downtown Anderson across from the Paramount Theater, and her Southwest office is located in downtown Carmel on Main Street next to the Monon Trail. Again, if you are having issues with any federal agency, Representative Victoria Spartz's office is here to assist you. You can call Representative Spartz's office at 317-848-0201 or submit your inquiries at her website, spartz.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Look, you want to beat inflation? Golden Oak Lending is here to help. You can tap into your growing home equity and put that cash to work for you. So if you're living a paycheck to paycheck, now is the time to get that relief. With a 3.75% fixed rate cash out refi from Golden Oak Lending.
Even if you haven't made any updates to your home's value has increased in the last year alone. I promise you. Put that money to work for you. Pay off credit cards, finish a home project, or just put some cash back in your pocket. Find out how much you could save at goldenoaklending.com. Check out Zipline. It's their online tool. It's free to use. goldenoaklending.com, or give them a call. 317-706-GOLD, 706-GOLD. NMLS 114937, 3.75% fixed, 4.88% APR. FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Hey, Dr. Elsperman. I believe one of the best ways to invest in a community is to encourage participation in high school sports.
I agree, Paul. High school sports can play a tremendous role in student athletes obtaining their first degree in life, a high school diploma. Ivy Tech Community College also plays a role by serving more than 70,000 Indiana high school students who are earning college credit while finishing high school.
High school athletics are all about setting students up for success in the classroom and in life, and that's especially important, considering less than 7% of student athletes play sports in college and even fewer receive scholarships.
At Ivy Tech, thousands of college or first industry credential, giving them a head start on college and careers.
We appreciate the support of partners like Ivy Tech who invest in our student athletes, their education, and our communities.
This is championing education. This is investing in your community. This is your IHSAA.
Want to express the heartwarming message that says love is all about being together? Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says I love you. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Sundown Gardens' large selection of container and balled and burlap trees is 30% off through September 4th. Now's a great time to plant. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road.
So, Matt Bear, this is technically our last day as MS Communications employees. Everybody knows we were sold to Urban One. Had a big, get together, a little shindig last night in the lobby here. So, if you hear "Don't Stop Believin'" playing later in the show, like the way The Sopranos ended, just run, don't say anything, and leave our bodies here in the studio.
I'm just glad my key card worked this morning. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we'll see if ours works tomorrow.
All right. Day ain't over yet. Looking at northbound 465, stop and go right now. 79th Street up to 865. On the east side, southbound 465 jams before 70 down to 74. Inbound 65 stops at 21st. The southwest side, southbound 465 of mess right now from Washington to the White River. Traffic sponsored by the Hoosier Hardwood Festival. The Hoosier Hardwood Festival, September 9th through the 11th at the Boone County Fairgrounds. Lumberjacks, chainsaw carvers, woodworking artists, Kids Zone, equipment sales, and more. Discounts and details at HoosierHardwoodFestival.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Got a text from a buddy that said, Nigel, Matt Bear, and I are going to be like those guys in the Titanic playing the violins right around 7 o'clock tonight. It's been a pleasure serving with you. Right now, sunshine and 82 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
I thought that was really good. Nope. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
93 WIBC.
I guess I should. I mean, I owe Jeff Somalian a big debt of gratitude. I started here 20 years ago, 2002. And
you were at the old radio now, right?
Yeah, on this very signal, when this signal played pop music. And I mean, really, if it wasn't for this station, I wouldn't have met my wife and have kids and all that, because Lindsay in the mid-2000s was working upstairs in HR as an executive assistant. Right.
Dude, you were banging an HR chick? Good for you. That's why you got away with everything.
She was the executive assistant to the HR director, Mickey Levitan, at the time.
That's how you do it, man.
That's how I met my wife. And so, yeah, man. And then, of course, David Wood hires us, takes a flyer on us 5 years ago to do a show. And so, yeah, it's gonna be weird being employed by someone else, not Emma's Communications, like I have been for basically 20 years.
And I said this earlier when I came on with Rob. Let me just say this about Jeff Smulligan. It's obvious his politics differ from mine, but never, not once, has he stormed into this studio and said, you stop talking about Bernie Sanders that way, or, you can't do this or that.
Or told any of our managers to tell us that.
Right. He's kind of just let us do our thing here, and man, I appreciate the hell out of that. So it's been a great run. Hopefully it's not done. Let's come back tomorrow.
It's not. I mean, we're still going to be in this same studio tomorrow. It's going to be a while before Radio One or Urban One finishes their build out over there. So I'm going to enjoy this view outside our 4th floor studios overlooking Monument Circle as long as I can.
Dude, when we move into that new studio, do you know how many people that's going to tick off that were rooting for us to get fired? Because whenever that sale was announced, like all of the trolls, people that have the pronouns in their bios and, their vaccine picture in their bio, Hammer and Nigel are going to get fired. You guys are going to crap biscuits when you see us hanging out with the people that do the TLC Easy Listening Show in the evening, man. Mr. Loverman, Jerry Wade.
That's right.
Dude, I'm all in. TLC, hip-hop channel, we're coming, baby. We're going to be friends. That being said, let's take a little break, take a deep breath, and check in with America's battle against COVID-19.
COVID-19, oh, I swear that I mean at this moment.
There are 3 vaccines.
China. 3.
China, piss off. Now you've made
James, help us out here.
We're all nervous
he doesn't know.
Because of COVID-19.
Atta baby. I saw you working it.
James is filling in for Megamondo here for the next week or two. Did you see that a giant corporation, Goldman Sachs, has lifted all COVID protocols and ordered its staff to return to the office full time?
What took so long?
After Labor Day. Yeah, I saw this headline and I'm like, what people, there's still COVID protocols? Like there's still people working from home that, I just surprised me. Here's the email. Here's the email from Goldman. There is significantly less risk of severe illness. In line with the CDC's updated protocols, if you have not been coming into the office, please speak with your manager to ensure that you understand and adhere to your division's current return to office expectations. I mean, basically, they're one of the first major corporations to blast out a company-wide email, which essentially says, catching COVID shouldn't be an excuse to work from home, or the possibility of catching COVID should not be an excuse from working from home. Now, you and I have been lucky enough, privileged enough to be able to come to work this whole time.
Right. Even in the very beginning of Rona, when everybody was freaking out, we had to have this piece of paper we kept in our cars that said we're essential workers. So we got to be allowed to go outside.
That was like one of the weirdest things because there was a stay-at-home order. And technically, I don't even think, I'm not sure how much that was ever enforced.
No.
But yeah, we had this piece of paper that we ever got pulled over. Hey, look, there's a stay-at-home order, sir. What are you doing out on the road? Oh, here, look at this, officer. I'm allowed to go to work.
You know how ticked off I would have been if, like, the guy that, had 20 plus felonies was out on the road, but I got busted for going to Taco Bell at about 11 o'clock at night. You know how ticked off I would have been?
Wow.
It's a anniversary today, Big Nige. Happy 2-year anniversary of this amazing speech on COVID by Joe Biden.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it.
2 years anniversary. We're commemorating that speech from Joe Biden.
This is the official transcript of that event.
Okay.
Quote, COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak has taken, more than 100 year. Look, here's the lives. It's just, I mean, you think about it.
When you write it down on paper, it seems even more absurd than listening to the audio clip.
All right, so James, I want to have you play Joe Biden again here in just a moment, and I'm going to try to do a read along with him. Normally we have Kyle do this, but Kyle's out, James is here, so go ahead and hit me. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 year. Look, here's the lives. It's just, I mean, you think about it.
Do it one more time, but turn Biden up more. I want to hear more Biden this time. Do it again. I want to hear
COVID
has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 year. Look, here's the lives. It's just, I mean, you think about it.
It's just, I mean, think about it.
It's like every drunk guy at a bar with his buddies.
Oh, my God.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
This is Ryan again, owner of Plumbing, Heating, Paramedics, your trained comfort specialist. Buying a new air conditioner or furnace is a big decision and can be pricey. That's why we recommend getting 3 quotes. Just make sure we are one of them. Why? Because the PHP guarantee says, if I can't beat a competitor's price by 10%, then I will give you $100. Dad always said, do quality work and serve every customer better than your competition. So let our family serve you. Visit saving10%.com and remember, it's hard to stop a train.
Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Aristotle said that. The Singer Financial Team embodies it so your family can live it. This is Brian Singer. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people.
This is Erica Baker, advisor and team member with Singer Financial. Our clients expect excellence from their financial advisory team. At Singer Financial, our mission is to be the last financial team your family will ever need or want. We understand that requires a deep level of engagement and trust. At Singer Financial, we take the time to get to know you, to understand what you need, and also what you want from your investments. We can help provide answers to the questions you may not even know to ask. That means we don't really have clients. We have relationships with people, relationships with couples, relationships with families who deserve excellence. Feeling valued and trusted by your family is the most rewarding aspect of what we do. That's why our team is committed to excellence. Excellence is what you should expect when you choose to partner with Singer Financial.
The Singer Financial Team has developed and refined a proprietary process designed to help people who are still working create a work-optional lifestyle. We call it the RIM. The Retirement Income Money Map looks at 5 key areas of your financial life and then informs your choices to design a lifestyle as unique as you are. The RIM process puts all the pieces of the puzzle together to increase your chances to live the lifestyle you've imagined for your retirement.
Our team can help make your money live as long as you do. Go to singerfinancialgroup.com to explore the RIM process or call 317-852-9153 to schedule a virtual or in-office discovery visit.
Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, and AE Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box, all for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible gateway.
The 9th Annual Indy Labor Fest is September 3rd on Monument Circle, an admission-free street festival with a chance to learn about career opportunities. Hosted by the labor unions of Central Indiana.
Coming up in 2 minutes, charges for the man arrested after a high schooler was shot at Whiteland last week. Indiana Supreme Court ruled in favor of a Catholic high school who fired a teacher 3 years ago. And IU Health is going to have a new lab dedicated to monkeypox testing. All that and more after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
A new tool in the fight against coronavirus. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. A new COVID booster shot could be available in a matter of days after the Food and Drug Administration gave authorization to a reformulated shot by Pfizer and Moderna.
The more up to date you are in your vaccination, the more and likely the more updated your vaccination for this variant, the greater the chance that you'll be protected with a reduced risk of long COVID, which for young people is increasingly a major concern.
FDA Commissioner Robert Califf, the new boosters combine the original vaccine formula with updates specifically designed to battle Omicron variants BA4 and BA5. Those are considered the most contagious strains. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is expected to give final approval to the updated boosters at a meeting tomorrow. The Justice Department submitted new court documents last night, providing more information about what led to the search of former President Trump's Florida home and what was found.
Buried within this same document was one photo showing folders clearly marked top secret and secret. The Justice Department is also urging a judge to reject Trump's request for a special master or for a third party to review all of this material. The government writing in this filing, quote, plaintiff's motion to appoint a special master and join further review of seized materials fails for multiple independent reasons. The government has also developed evidence that government records were likely concealed and removed to obstruct the investigation. Now, the former president has continued to claim that this is all a political witch hunt.
Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House. A team of UN experts is heading to the Ukraine nuclear power plant currently under Russian control. Officials fear that facility could leak radiation as battles between Russian and Ukrainian forces continue in the area. Officials have begun distributing anti-radiation iodine tablets to nearby residents. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He could go away for a long time. 82 and sunny in downtown Indy with nothing on your radar. A low of 62 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. If you've been following the story of the shooting of Tamario Stokes at a bus stop in Greenwood, Tariq Radford L. was formally charged with murder today.
Officers attempted life-saving measures, but were unsuccessful.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen. Stokes died from gunshots to the head, back, and arm, say the charging documents. Radford L. first told police he was working out when it happened. Then he told him it was self-defense, though Stokes didn't have a gun. If convicted, Radford L. could spend up to 65 years behind bars. Indiana's Supreme Court ruled in favor of a Catholic school who fired someone because they were in a same-sex marriage. Chris Davis reports on the lawsuit that started the case.
In 2019, Joshua Payne Elliott was fired by the Archdiocese of Indianapolis because he was in a same-sex marriage with a teacher from another Catholic school, Leighton Payne Elliott of Brebeuf. The fired teacher sued, but the court's Wednesday decision says essentially that the Catholic Church and the Archdiocese can practice matters of faith and doctrine with no government interference, including firing someone for religious reasons. Leighton Payne Elliott was also ordered fired, but Rebuff refused. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man and woman were found dead at a home in Cumberland Place neighborhood, and Fishers police are investigating. They got a call this morning of someone threatening suicide, and when police got to the home, they found 2 people dead inside. If you know anything, Fishers police would like a call. Officers found a body lying in a field in Whiteland yesterday, and the Johnson County coroner says that man was 39-year-old Dennis Brown. He had been missing for a few days, and his body was found near the Wishing Well Motel around 8:30 in the morning. An autopsy found no signs of foul play. IU Health announced Tuesday a new lab for monkeypox testing.
When you're trying to reduce the spread of a virus or any kind of infectious agents, if you can identify them more quickly, you can diagnose and begin treatment more quickly as well.
Jessica Isaac with IU Health. She says they'll be able to get test results back in just a couple of days. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
My name is Kayla Sinders, and I work for Gleaners Food Bank. I am a local service manager for 3 counties in our 21-county service area, and I nominated Katie.
And I'm Jiffy Lube owner Steve Sanner. At Jiffy Lube, we are proud to support Hoosier charities that use their vehicles to do more to make Indiana a better place to live.
My name is Katie Wilkerson. I pick up at the mobile food pantries. The best part of volunteering to hand someone some food and see the smile on their face, the relief. Without my vehicle, there's no way I'd be able to do this. To go to any of the pantries, it's at least 18 miles.
Jiffy Lube of Indiana provides all of our Do More winners with free vehicle maintenance for a year. Because now at Jiffy Lube, our trained technicians do more to keep vehicles like theirs and yours on the road. Brakes, tires, batteries, and more, as well as Indiana's favorite oil change since 1985.
If you know a volunteer who impacts your community, nominate them today to receive a year's worth of free vehicle maintenance. Just click the Do More tab at jiffylubeindiana.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at these signs, southbound 465 jams at Washington Street all the way around to the White River, and the westbound lane slow on the south side, Harding over to the White River. Eastbound 70 to downtown, stop and go traffic from Tibbs Avenue into Meridian, Illinois. Inbound 65 stopped at 21st Street, and then northbound 465 northwest side jams at 79th. Traffic sponsored by Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. The Galaxy Z Fold 4 is changing the way you get things done with an expansive foldable screen that lets you use up to 3 apps at once. Visit Samsung.com to order your Galaxy Z Fold 4. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, skies will remain mostly clear, low temperature of 63 degrees, still comfortable. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, another gorgeous day out there. High temperature reaches 86 degrees. And the nice weather continues into Friday. Mostly sunny skies remain in place. A little bit more humid. High temperature of 87 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Do you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. More details about the shooting outside of the hotel downtown on South Meridian that injured 2 Dutch soldiers, killed a third. Hammer, what do we know?
A lot of good information is now available due to the probable cause affidavit. And there's also a pretty good breakdown in the Indy Star today by Jake Allen. Now, listen, we'll call the Indy Star out when they do nonsense things, but I will also give them props when I think they've got a good breakdown. They posted one today. So here's what we know. 22-year-old Shamar Duncan was taken into custody for the murder of that Dutch commando soldier. It took place outside of the Hampton Inn. Now, this is all information that you can find on the probable cause affidavit for Duncan's arrest. Investigators, they used statements from the group of Dutch soldiers that lived as well as witnesses, video from a bystander, and some surveillance video to identify Duncan as the suspect and the shooter.
You know, that was one of the things I mentioned when this first happened. Were there going to be any witnesses that talked? I mean, of course you were going to get information from the two surviving Dutch commandos, but who saw the thing? Who was rolling tape, and what kind of surveillance was there?
So what we know, at least according to the affidavit, is that the group of Dutch soldiers were walking back to their hotel from a bar when they were antagonized by Duncan and two other men that were with him. The witness claims that Duncan's group crossed over Meridian Street near the Indy Star building, shoved a man in the group, and that soldier walked away. They were trying to defuse the situation. And then there was another altercation, and this is the one that ultimately would turn deadly. Duncan's group basically was looking for a fight. So this Shamar Duncan guy, according to witnesses, got into multiple altercations that night. Another one after the shooting, but ultimately he did get away. According to a witness, they were watching from across the street and told investigators they saw one of the males was causing a problem, and he got knocked to the ground. So one of the soldiers knocked out one of the punks that was running around with Duncan's group.
Deservedly so.
And it was at that point, somebody in Duncan's group got up and said, "Go get the strap." So they went back to their vehicle, which was a pickup truck. They got separated. And then as these soldiers were walking back to their hotel, the truck made a big U-turn in front of the Indy Star building, accelerated, and then fired on the group in front of the Hampton Inn.
So it sounds like to me there's going to be more arrests, hopefully.
Right. Unless, and we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, two of Shamar's guys ratted him out. Maybe that's the case.
That's it. Yeah, maybe that's, some sort of immunity or something.
Right.
We don't know that for sure.
No. This is just things that could be happening behind the scenes. Before he was arrested, police located Shamar Duncan on the east side wearing a hoodie pulled down around his face, and he was also wearing a COVID-19 mask to hide his identity. So that's kind of how it all went on. There was a fight that took place. The Dutch soldiers knocked out one of these punks that were trying to rough him up a little bit. They didn't like it, and then they went and got their gun, came back, and shot the group up.
That's the conflict resolution right there. That's the attitude that a lot of people have in the city, downtown, especially when you can't go toe-to-toe with your fists. Go get the strap. What was the quote? Go
get the strap.
Go get the strap. Because these guys that we're picking on, that we started this fight with, these soldiers, these commandos are going to kick our asses. Go get the strap. I am so glad they caught this guy. I think everybody in those in the group needs to be arrested that was with the murderer. I don't care whether they offered any sort of witness testimony or not. And I'm that was the thing I was worried about, whether they're going to be witnesses, whether they're going to be people willing to talk, because so often we have crimes in the city that happen just like this, but nobody's willing to talk because of fear of retribution. The guy that maybe gets arrested, that they accuse, and gets back out and goes and does another violent crime, and that's hopefully not what happened in this case. What happened in this case was there's surveillance, there was witness testimony, there was surveillance video to identify this murderer, and I'm so sorry this had to happen, but it's just a black eye for our city, man.
It is.
It's just an international incident. I mean, there's all sorts of European papers and online publications talking about this.
Right. And the comments from the mayor, Joe Hogsett, they're appearing in these publications all over the world now, where he's basically saying, Indy is safe. We're down a certain percentage of, various crimes.
And then, of course, the imbecile prosecutor Mears saying, well, this is what's going to happen when you have constitutional carry. Can you believe he released that statement?
I can, yes, and that's what's sad.
I can't. I'm still stunned every time I read that.
So again, 22-year-old Shamar Duncan taken into custody, charged, I believe, with this shooting, the murder, and the witnesses, according to the affidavit, said his group, there was 3 people with Duncan's group, and of course the 3 Dutch commandos. Duncan's group was looking for a fight because there were multiple times, according to the witnesses, they tried to start something.
And kudos to the Indy star, Jake Allen. I believe he's the one that broke that down for us.
Shifting gears to some things happening around the nation, you're continuing to see more and more high-profile Democrats, folks in Joe Biden's inner circle, call Trump voters, the MAGA crowd, if you want to call them that, domestic terrorists. This is Kurt Bardella. He's with the DNC, and he thinks 70 million Trump voters are domestic terrorists.
And let's be very clear here. The Republican Party, the MAGA Republicans, are a domestic terrorist cell operating in America. Wow. This is a group of people who have decided that it is acceptable to use violence and threats of violence to try to achieve their political means, that it's okay to threaten law enforcement to stop them from doing their job. Well, anytime that you have a group of people dedicated and devoted to using violent rhetoric, extreme means to incite violence against other people, that is terrorism. That's what we're seeing from this version of the modern Republican Party.
Now do the Summer of Love, Skippy. Now do 2020, where an entire group, the political left, because I'm telling you, there weren't a lot of Trump voters that were setting fires to liquor stores in 2020. Now do Brett Kavanaugh's house.
Yeah. Kamala Harris. Did you see that story? Kamala Harris donated to that Minnesota fund that were bailing out rioters. One of the guys got out, went on to murder somebody else.
And that's not the first time that we've had a long list of problems with that Minnesota Freedom Fund. Talked about that earlier. That thing has been a disaster. But because of people having questions with the FBI, and honestly, the comments from Graham Nasty not helping, the political left is going to be, we're the side of law and order now. Don't fall for this crap. I hope nobody's falling for this crap. All right, coming up here in just a moment, the crazy coupon lady.
Oh, boy.
Crystal Hammer will save us some money on some Labor Day items.
Did I tell you about the text that she sent me yesterday? I got to tell you about this. It's hilarious.
We'll get to that coming up right now. Matt Bayer's got to look at the roads.
West side is bad going southbound 465 after Crawfordsville Road all the way down and around to the White River. That is stop to stop and go traffic. I would stay clear. Inbound 65 jams at 21st Street to the north split. Northwest side, northbound 465 stopped at 79th. Eastbound 465 jams at Keystone to the White River, and on the east side, southbound 465 fully loaded from 70 down to Arlington. Traffic sponsored by Comcast Business. Whether your business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business, the network that powers more businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
82 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Need to beat inflation? Golden Oak Lending is here to help.
Inflation has credit card balances at an all-time high. Why pay up to 25% interest when Golden Oak can pay off that debt at 3.75% fixed?
Our low mortgage rates make you the winner.
Call 317-706-GOLD to lock in your 3.75% rate today.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937. 3.75% fixed, 4.88% APR. FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
My wife and I made several purchases at Diamonds Direct, from diamond rings to diamond stud earrings. Check this out. At Diamonds Direct right now, you can get 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase. So if you think you're thinking about popping the question, you can get a $6,000 designer engagement ring. You pay only $100 a month with nothing down.
How about a $10,000 3-stone ring? Only $167 a month with nothing down. You can do that right now at Diamonds Direct. Everything is included in this premier financing event. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, you name it, it's included. Find out what you like and then divide that price by 60. That will be your super low payment. You can even finance the sales tax. 5 years, 0 interest, everything in the store. DiamondsDirect.com or stop by that beautiful showroom at Keystone at the Crossing. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most Root Metrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Only my Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. The result? 28 minutes more restful sleep a night. That's more focus, more edge, and more highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Labor Day. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
When the weather turns severe, turn to the WIBC Storm Desk, presented by Technology Recyclers. Securely destroy electronic data. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Sundown Gardens' large selection of container and balled and burlap trees is 30% off through September 4th. Now's a great time to plant. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Mind, or Lab Grown Diamond Store.
The Hammer and Nigel Show, 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. I'll allow you to do the honors and introduce our next guests.
She is known as the Crazy Coupon Lady, yes, but she's also Mrs. Hammer. Crystal Hammer joins us. Now, before we get into all the savings that you've got lined up for the big Labor Day extravaganza coming up, you were elbowing the bejesus out of me the other night. My first night home from Milwaukee. After 2 nights away, I'm sleeping in my own bed, my Thompson furniture mattress. I've got all the things set up the way that I like. And you elbowed me like 3 or 4 times in the evening.
Why?
I have never seen you fall asleep so fast in my life, which, by the way, I just want to say, it was nice to have you home because I had a hard time sleeping without you here next to me.
Oh, thank you.
Very sweet.
Well, it's more of, I feel more safe when he's here, but...
Well, so what, was he snoring?
Oh my gosh! It started the minute his head hit the pillow, it wasn't just a snore. It was like a horn. It was like,
Dude,
it was real soft. It was soft at first, so I didn't say anything. But within 5 to 10 minutes, it was. I had the bed. I mean, we were almost sitting up because I kept lifting us up higher, trying to get him to stop.
Yeah.
And finally, I was like, you got to turn over because I cannot sleep. I wish I would have recorded him like he does me when I snore.
You should have recorded that. Yeah, I would love to have humiliated Hammer on our show. I fell asleep in my daughter's bed the other night, and she's 8 years old, and she said the same thing. She elbowed me very hard. She goes, "Daddy, wake up. You sound like a trumpet." Here's one other thing, and it's indicative of the relationship between. Before we get to these deals that you have for the crazy coupon lady, just one other thing I wanted to mention, and it's kind of just shows the beautiful relationship that the husband and wife of Crystal Hammer and Jason Hammer have together. I get a text yesterday at about 1:30. I'm sitting here in one of these little production studios prepping for the show. Hammer's in his office, and I get a text from Crystal Hammer. I'm like, okay, this is odd. Open it up. Hey, Nigel, can you tell Fat Ass to check his phone once in a while? I need the password to our Xfinity account. Thank you.
My phone was on the charge. It was dead, so I was kind of off the grid for a little bit.
So I went into the office.
A little bit.
I walked into the office. I go, hey, Fat Ass, call your wife.
Oh.
You've been getting some pretty good feedback from this little nickel and dime segment we put together, right?
Yeah, so I put out a post last night. I got a lot of instant messages too, but some of the things, like I had Debbie Fights on Facebook. She said she loves the Walgreens deals and Ibotta. She claims she had Ibotta before I started doing my segment, but ever since my segment, she's been using it more, and she has over $100 in her account now.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I had a Sheila Larson on Twitter. Same thing. She's got about 100 to 115 in her Ibotta account since my show.
And again, that's money that she can just send directly to her bank account. That's real money.
Yeah, it's real money. Instagram, I had Gwen Hayes. She was another one who says she's gained money in her Ibotta account. A lot of people saying how they love the Walgreens deals. So we're not here to get rich. We're not going to get rich off of this, but saving $100 to a couple $100. How long have I been doing this segment with you? I mean,
yeah, it adds up. It adds up. Any estimation on how much cash you've accrued and saved, either between Ibotta or savings at the grocery store or whatever?
Well, I know, like with my Ibotta account, I've saved quite a bit. I've been able to save over $1,000.
And we just kind of shift that over as need be. Like I went up to Milwaukee this weekend, slid $100 over. That covers, some food
amazing.
A little bit and things like that.
Right. And just like this yesterday, we went to the gas station because I told you there was a deal on my gas app where I was getting like almost 35 cents off a gallon, and we went and filled your car up and my car. We saved over $11. It's already been added to my account.
Right. So I went to the gas pump. She backed in right behind me. And in one transaction, we just filled both of our vehicles up and used the app that Crystal talked about last week.
Yeah, Upside.
Yeah, Upside, and got $11 out of that.
Right. And the other thing I want my listeners to know, too, is that, with these rebate apps like Ibotta and Fetch and, Upside, I know I give you guys my referral code to log on. And, yes, you're going to get money for signing on. And, yes, I'm not going to – I get some money, too. But now it's, you start sharing your referral code to your friends. And that also will help you build up your account.
So once somebody, takes your advice and they open up an Ibotta account or one of these other app accounts, once they start referring their friends, they get the money.
Yes, they get money. That's exactly right. So when their friends sign up with their referral code, then they will get so much money added to their account, plus their person that signs up gets money.
I just feel like for a rookie, though, there's a lot involved. You got to put in the work to kind of get moving, and you also offer advice on that as well.
Right. So you just follow all of my accounts on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, because I'm constantly, every day throughout the week, constantly putting deals out there where you can get certain products with the Ibotta and Fetch. With Fetch, you can just scan every receipt. It doesn't matter what it is. You're going to get some points from it. Sometimes there's qualifying products that give you even more points, but I scan every receipt when it comes to Fetch.
All right, so we got Labor Day on the horizon here, crazy coupon lady. Some people might be doing cookouts. They might be hitting the road a little bit. What do you got for us?
Okay, so this deal, I'm working on a Kroger haul right now because I need to go to the grocery store. So I've picked a couple things. Now, these deals do not require Ibotta. These are part of the Kroger. It's called Digital Weekly coupons that you can do, and it's a limit of 5. But like the Weber seasonings, the different seasonings you can put on hamburgers. Yeah, they're really good seasonings, but they're not cheap. They're $3.79 on sale for $2.49. But if you clip the Digital Weekly coupon, you can get them for $1.49 each.
And where's that Digital Weekly coupon at?
It's right on the Kroger app.
Okay.
Right on the Kroger app. As soon as you click into your account and you pull up, the Weber seasonings, you'll see the coupon right there. It says weekly digital coupon. You clip it, and then you can buy it up to 5 times.
Okay.
You don't have to buy 5 of them, but you can buy it up to a limit of 5. So that's 60% off. And then another thing is the Kroger brats. They are on weekly digital deal. They are regular priced at $5.99, on sale for $3.99. But with that Digital Weekly coupon, you could get them for $2.99. So you're talking 50% off. Yeah. So I'm working on more stuff with Kroger. The ad just came out today, so I'm kind of going back and forth. It takes me a little time, but if I find some more deals, I'll be posting about them soon.
If anybody wants to follow you to get these deals through the week or to learn how to do this, you can teach them how to do it. How can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Crystal Hammer, spelled like the stripper.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wait.
CRYSTAL.
There's an H in there?
Yep.
Charistal. CHRY.
See, I think if it was spelled by like a stripper, it'd be a KRYSTAL.
No, those are the rip-off White Castle sandwiches you get down south.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
All right, crazy coupon lady, Crystal Hammer, we appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Casey Daniels, the side piece, one half of the Kendall and Casey show. She's going to join us next, but right now we got to look at the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She won't recover. Sunny and 82 in Indy. Nothing on your radar and a low of 62 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. Richmond police officer Sierra Burton, who has been in the hospital ever since she was shot during a traffic stop in early August, will be removed from life support. The Richmond Police Department made the announcement on Facebook this afternoon. They said her injuries were unrecoverable. Burton will be taken off life support Thursday. Doorbell security video helped Greenwood police catch Tariq Radford L. last week. Today, he was formally charged with the murder of Tamario Stokes at his bus stop.
Witnesses informed officers that the suspect fled between houses and ran south through the neighborhood toward a cornfield.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen. When police caught him coming out of the cornfield, he was covered in grass and dirt. He later tried to convince officers that he was dirty because he was cleaning a bench press, say documents. He could get 45 to 65 years if convicted. The Justice Department released pictures of classified documents that were taken from the White House when former President Donald Trump left office. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre continues to say President Joe Biden knows just as much as you do about the investigation.
The president has not been briefed on this latest development. He has not been briefed on anything that's connected to this particular criminal investigation.
Trump says it was the FBI who threw those documents on the floor, and they're trying to blame him. The U.S. has given billions of dollars worth of help to Ukraine. Pentagon spokesman Pat Ryder said they're trying to use that money where Ukraine needs it during a briefing Wednesday.
As we look at what the requirements are for Ukraine, from a policy standpoint and from a procurement standpoint, generally speaking, we are going to use the mechanism that best supports the needs of Ukraine, working very closely with our allies and partners.
The FDA is giving emergency use authorization to another booster dose of the Pfizer and Moderna COVID vaccines.
It's just painful to see people dying unnecessarily when there's a free treatment that would prevent their death.
FDA Commissioner Robert Califf, he says the virus evolves. The original vaccine may not be as protective, which is why he recommends getting that booster shot. With traffic at 532, here's Matt Bear.
West side, southbound 465, just an awful delay, worst I've seen in a long time. It is from Crawfordsville Road all the way down and around to the White River because of an earlier disabled semi. I'm told that's out of the interstate now. Going the other direction, we do have a problem. It is a crash westbound 465, a Harding 37 pushed out of the interstate over to the right shoulder. Traffic stopped back to US 31, then slow to I-65. Eastbound 70 from the west side to downtown, stop to stop and go from Holt Road into Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Help favors B Window fight ovarian cancer. During September, B Window will donate up to 1% of sales to help fight ovarian cancer. Visit bwindow.com for symptoms and details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear skies remain in place. Low temperature of 63 degrees with lower humidity. Tomorrow, mostly sunny once again. High temperature of 86 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
82 and sunny downtown. I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Casey Daniels from the Kendall and Casey Show here for the side piece. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I was in the car. I had to get out. And I heard you talking about some polling with Trump, you and Rob, earlier today on your show. Can you remind me what those numbers say? I mean, I think after Labor Day weekend, people start to maybe pay attention a little bit more to what's going on in the world in terms of, who's going to be running in the midterms and things like that. But there was also a Trump poll that you were talking about.
Yeah, the poll asks now, if the 2024 presidential election were held today, which one of the following best describes how you would vote in a general election between Donald Trump and Joe Biden? And Donald Trump leads the poll by 4 points.
Now, do we know the margin of error here? Is it 4 points?
Right.
It really doesn't do anybody any good if it's...
49% selected Trump, 45% selected Biden, and then 5% were undecided.
Do you get into polls? Like, do they make a difference for you? Because when it comes to the president race, right, the big banana, the number one race everybody cares about, it's really all about state polling. Because national polling, it doesn't matter because we have the electoral college system. So let me know what Arizona says, or Wisconsin, or Pennsylvania, Ohio. Those are the polls you want to see, those state polls,
You're
right?
talking about the swing states?
Yes.
Just Florida, what are they doing down there? Because whichever way Florida, California, and New York goes, the rest of the country follows?
I mean, not necessarily all the time, because California is going to be blue. New York's going to be blue. Florida has morphed into a red state. I think Florida's a red state.
Yeah.
The last couple of elections, you're talking Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, a little bit of that Rust Belt, and then a few other places, maybe like Arizona out west. They really decide the election.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting to see what people are thinking. When you look at a poll, it's just a snapshot in time. You can't go with that's the Bible, it's concrete, it's the way it is, because it fluctuates. But I think it is an interesting way to take the temperature of how people are feeling.
And like I said, paying attention to polling now is a little, I mean, I'm fascinated by it. I'd like to play the what if game. I think the midterms are going to be fascinating. The presidential race is going to be fascinating. But I don't think you start paying attention until after Labor Day or even October. The polls kind of are worthless right now. I'll give you another example of what I'm talking about. Ann Coulter, we know Ann Coulter is conservative talking head, pundit, author. She's claiming Trump is done. He's over. He's done. And I'm like, she was pretty rough on him because of the wall. He didn't get the wall finished like he promised, some other stuff. But man, this poll tracker, USA, I'm looking at on Twitter, the 2024 National Republican primary poll, Trump 53%, DeSantis 17%.
Yeah, well, in this poll that I was looking at, this McLaughlin and Associates poll had Trump with a 30-point lead over DeSantis.
Wow, for the GOP primary? Wow.
Yeah. And
so that's the kind of same thing I'm looking at here.
Yeah, so the polls say the same thing, but then there was this other poll between Warnock and Herschel Walker down in Georgia, and it was the exact opposite. One poll had Warnock leading, the other one had Herschel Walker leading. So it really kind of depends on how the question is asked and how people are vetted.
And who's doing the polling, right? That's a big part of it because we are such a political nation right now. Even the pollsters have a bias. So if they ask 100 registered Democrats, what do you think about Donald Trump? Then they could run a story the next day. 5% of this country believes in Donald Trump. The other 95 wants him to burn in hell. Well, by the way, they asked, all Democrats.
You mentioned 5%, and in this poll that has Trump leading over Biden, 5% are undecided. Who
are these people?
Like, who are you, and how could you be undecided? Is it like, I want to see what more they can do?
Right.
Show me your track record. Like, what more information do you need?
Especially on that guy. 4 years as president, the most polarizing figure in politics, whether you love him or you hate him. Who are these 5% that are like,
I need more time. I need more time.
I mean, if you list off the accomplishments of Donald Trump during his 4 years in the White House, but you left his name off of it. You looked at everything he got accomplished, from the economy to no new wars to some of this foreign policy stuff in the Middle East. You would have been like, oh wow, this is an amazing 4 years. But because it's Donald Trump,
And
it's
then
a
when
lot different.
Well, and if you look at Biden's accomplishments, like 40-year high inflation, record gas prices, a deadly Afghan withdrawal.
But a lot of these lunatics on the left, though, will say, oh, he passed out free money. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, he bought your vote. He bought your love. Daddy with the big wallet. He's like a gambler. You're going to lose a lot of money. I'm all in.
I don't know what you're talking about, Casey. I've never been in that situation ever in my life.
Don't you feel like, though, because he keeps going on vacation and he keeps leaving, every time he goes to the beach in Delaware, he comes back and is like, well, let's open up the checkbook and spend some money. Like, every time he comes back.
I think they tell him to go on vacation.
Right?
Because they get more done when he's not around. When he had COVID and he was in the basement, they got a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
When he's falling off the bike and he's going on vacation, they get stuff done. He comes back and it's like Weekend at Bernie's. Just prop up the corpse there, let him sign the piece of paper, and then have him wave with a string attached to his hand. That's all that it is.
Well, he went away again, and then he came back and he went to Pennsylvania, and he's promoting his Safer America plan. It's like $37 billion.
Trying to get rid of the defund the police stigma for the Democrats.
They're spinning it onto the Republicans now. You don't like the FBI, you want to defund the police.
Right.
Like, they're trying to flip everything back onto the
Just
Republicans.
because you have questions about the FBI and the way they've handled themselves over the past few years, several different incidents, it doesn't mean you're against or defunding.
He's the one with short-term memory loss, not us. We remember all of those Democrats saying, defund the police, defund the police, and now he's spinning it. No, we want to fund the police. Like, what?
Well, that's where their party's at, right? You went from AOC showing up to that Met Gala with the tax the rich across her ass in that big dress to all of a sudden, free college money for the rich. Here you go. Well, that escalated quickly, didn't we? Tax the rich to reward the rich, all in just a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. Biden's going to be making a couple more stops in Pennsylvania. And of course, like Nigel said, this is all happening right before the midterms. So hopefully we're all seeing right through it.
Casey Daniels with us, part of the Kendall and Casey show every Monday through Friday, 9 to noon here at 93 WIBC. What are some things you've been working on online? Because you've got a great online presence here at this radio station.
Did I hear you say something about somebody getting a colonoscopy on vacation?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
Is there video of that? Did you record it, Casey?
Was
Is
that you?
posted?
Because you missed the ceremony last night. They called your name at the MS ceremony last night. You weren't here.
I didn't even know they knew who I was.
I thought she took a vacation day to get a colonoscopy. Was that you?
No, okay. So a couple things. That was Heidi Klum who who had a colonoscopy while she was on vacation.
Oh, she was on? Okay, that's it. All right.
And it wasn't me getting the colonoscopy.
You were giving it.
Well, you were there. You know what? We're going to get to the bottom of things right now. Let's flush this out.
Let's do it. Literally.
Hey. So no, it was the associate who had the colonoscopy.
Your associate, okay.
And what? Have either of you guys had one of these?
Yeah.
Old man Nige back there has.
Yeah, man.
It's not just one day off you need. It's 2 days off.
Well, yeah, I mean, because the prep the day before is just absolutely horrific. I mean, they clean you out
I'm 1 year away from it. I got warned about it this past year, and I thought, is it my time? They're like, no, we're just telling you that next year you have to get it scheduled.
And I had 3 of those things removed, polyps or whatever you call it. So that means I got to go back in 3 years and do it again.
They also found a rubber chicken in there, and I don't know what that was about.
1 in a million shot, Doc. 1 in a million.
How's the associate doing? Is he
no,
okay?
he's great. He doesn't have to go back for 10 years.
Okay, that's real good news. Yeah.
The tissue is pink and healthy and no polyps or anything. But the funny thing is, because you can't drive yourself home from one of those because you're still in the twilight zone.
Oh, yeah.
And as we were driving home, I had the radio on, and it was you guys, and I believe Matt Bear was doing a traffic break. And the associate says, "Who's the traffic guy? What's the?" And I said, "Matt Bear." And he goes, "He's a beast." I thought, okay, he's spitting our marketing back at me while he's in the twilight zone from the
beast.
Yeah.
If I'm Matt Bear, I use that as a badge of honor. Matt Bear, the official traffic voice of the anally impaired.
I just thought it was really funny.
Oh, good. I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, no, he's all good. But man, what a process that is. You'd think that they'd find a better way to check up there. Like, do we really still have to do it internally?
So there's no side piece article going into the exact details of the colonoscopy?
No.
Okay.
And there never will be.
I think you could poop in a box. I
have before.
It's not the only place.
I think it's a legitimate thing you can do if you don't want to do the actual colonoscopy route.
You can send it in, mail it to somebody. I made something for you.
It's in a Popeyes box. Here you go.
It's just, it really stinks.
A couple articles you got up there real quick.
Yeah, on WIBC.com, the side piece, Indianapolis ranks in the top 15 among cities with married millennials.
Okay.
Of course, there's a downward trend of those millennials getting married, except for here in Indianapolis. We're in the top in the country. So Hoosiers saying, I do.
WIBC.com?
Mm-hmm.
Casey Daniels, thank you.
Hey, thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
At Shane Company, we'll help you find the perfect engagement ring. Our jewelry consultants are experts and can teach you everything you need to know about creating a beautiful ring. When you're collaborating, there's no pressure. They don't work on commission, so they'll spend as much time with you as you need. Before you come in, you can play around with our online tool Budget Buddy, so you can see all the possibilities in your price range. When you're here, they'll show you so many gorgeous ring settings and all the options for the center stone. Go traditional with a beautiful diamond or make it really unique with a colorful gemstone. At Chain Company, we have stunning red rubies and over a dozen colors of sapphires, including 3 shades of blue, from light blue to a more traditional darker blue. Or maybe you'd love an aquamarine or peach morganite. Whatever you choose, your ring will be one of a kind, an expression of your love. So come on into Shane Company and let's bring that dream ring to life.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Hey, maybe you need a bigger home for your office or your growing family. Maybe you want to max your equity now while you can, but you're still not sure where or when to move next. That's where the only real estate agent I trust comes in, Mark Dietl. Eric and Cindy in Indianapolis heard us talk about Mark Dietl on our show. They had an investment property they wanted to sell for top dollar, and they knew they needed the best in a softening market. So they hired Mark Dietl. Like magic, he sold a home in days for $15,000 over asking. And by the way, when you sell your home with Mark Dietl, there's no required costly repairs. You can pick your move date and no long-term contracts.
Mark Dietl is the only agent that we recommend and trust on the Hammer and Nigel Show. Mark Dietl guarantees multiple offers in 3 days at full market value, or he will list it for free. Call him today, 755-4232, or go to markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hi, honey. Mom, I'm glad you figured out the video call. What's all that noise?
Oh, that. Your room will soon be a fitness studio.
My room? What?
Yeah, it's the home equity line of credit from Lake City Bank. The low fixed rate is helping us get things checked off our list. Oh, honey, the hot tub is here.
The what? Mom?
Use Lake City Bank's home equity line of credit for anything you need, even hot tubs. Learn more at lakecitybank.com or visit a branch near you. Subject to credit approval and equal housing lender.
The 9th Annual Indy Labor Fest is September 3rd on Monument Circle, an admission-free street festival with a chance to learn about career opportunities, hosted by the labor unions of Central Indiana.
You need a lawn care pro and a pest control pro. You can have both in one guy. You. DoMyOwn.com will help you get there with pro products, pro knowledge, and pro support. DoMyOwn.com for the pro in you.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with that symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
All right, so in just a moment, I have an update on Richmond police officer Ciara Burton, who was shot in the line of duty. I will share that news with you right after a look at the roads with Matt Baer.
West Side, southbound 465 stopped from 74 down to Rockville Road because of a crash, starting to move at the front of the line, but then we stop again from Rockville Road to Man Road because of an earlier tapped-out semi. Eastbound 70 to downtown jams at Tibbs on into Meridian, Illinois, and inbound 65 stops at 21st Street. Traffic sponsored by B-Window Health favors B-Window Fight Ovarian Cancer. During September, B-Window will donate up to 1% of sales to help fight ovarian cancer. Visit bwindow.com for symptoms and details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, we have 80 degrees at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And a couple of weeks ago, Richmond police officer Ciara Burton was shot in the line of duty, a seemingly routine traffic stop. A guy that was actually on like a bike opened fire on a number of officers, shooting Ciara Burton. This is not the news I wanted to share with you. Richmond Police Department now stating that Officer Ciara Burton will be taken off of life support tomorrow. Quote, despite the very best efforts of all the doctors and nurses at Miami Valley Hospital, Officer Burton's injuries have been determined to be unrecoverable. That's the statement from the Richmond Police Department. Her organs will be donated. She is a donor, so her organs will be donated. But again, sad news coming out of the Richmond Police Department. Despite the very best efforts of all the doctors and nurses at Miami Valley Hospital, Officer Ciara Burton's injuries have been determined to be unrecoverable, and she will be taken off of life support tomorrow. We will have more on this story throughout the evening here at WIBC and certainly tomorrow on our program. And our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in the Burton family and the Richmond Police Department.
California.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm Nigel. Jason Hammer's right over there. Big push for electric vehicles in this country, man. You know, we need to get rid of those gas guzzlers. You know what? If you're tired of paying too much at the gas pump, get an electric vehicle. That's kind of been the mantra of the administration.
So the last couple of years, I've been told, learn to code and just go get an electric vehicle. Crap out the money, find it, and make it happen.
I mean, I know the average price is in the mid-60s for an electric vehicle. But you know what? Sorry about you. You don't like $5 a gallon gas prices? I don't have to pay it. I don't have to pay that. I just plug it in and charge it and go.
Wasn't that Stephen Colbert? I've got a Tesla. I'm willing to pay more for a good conscience. Well, good for you, needle blank.
I wish you could say. I wish this was a medium where we could say the real thing, because that term is underused. Needle blank, needle blank, needle blank. And Waterboy.
Yes.
California. Listen to this. So they're pushing everybody. You got to get the electric vehicle. California, as a matter of fact, said they're going to ban the sale of electric vehicles, brand new manufacturing of electric vehicles.
Or gas vehicles after 35.
I'm sorry, after 2035, they're going to ban the sale of new gas-powered vehicles after 2035. They signed it into law. But listen to this. California's grid operator is saying excessive heat is going to stress the energy grid, and we're going to have to issue a series of emergency notifications. It also expects to call on Californians to voluntarily conserve via flex alerts over the long Labor Day weekend. Even Gavin Newsom, I saw a tweet that he put out, the governor of California, saying, could you mind keeping your thermostats at 78? And, oh, by the way, try not to charge your electric vehicle.
So wait a minute. You want us to buy these things, and then on Labor Day weekend, we're going to go out with the family. Maybe we're going to go by the ocean. You know, I live in California here. You're telling me I can't charge the damn thing?
Imagine you're a guy that just cares about the environment. You're not an over-the-top wacko about it. You're somebody that likes to conserve energy. You don't like fossil fuels. You don't like gas-powered vehicles. That's fine. I'm not going to impose my views on anybody else, but I'm going to save up, and I'm going to buy an electric vehicle because that's what Pete Buttigieg told me to do. And next thing you know, you got the governor saying, hey, that electric vehicle you bought, would you mind not plugging it in for the next couple of days because it's really stressing our power grid.
And by the way, it's Labor Day weekend. I know it's a long holiday and you're probably going to be traveling a little bit, but boy, don't charge that thing.
And no more gas cars. No more gasoline powered manufacturing of new cars by 2035. And they haven't figured this out yet. What a bunch of dopes. I'm sorry, but that is unacceptable, man.
So if I understand this correctly, the governor of California, old greasy Gavin Newsom, he wants your Labor Day plans to be the following. Keep the AC at a nice toasty 78. Don't drive anywhere in a gas car. Don't charge your electric car. Just sit there in your hot-ass house and spin around all day. Do I have this correct?
That's exactly it. Real quick, what's this thing about the Washington Post, the Amazon Washington Post losing money?
It is on track to, have a rough year. They're going to lose money this year, according to multiple sources. They've been unable to boost their subscribers back to that 3 million mark they had in 2020. The CEO, Fred Ryan, is allegedly going to be cutting 100 newsroom positions.
Whoa.
You know, that's shocking when you consider they pay 5 different writers 6 figures each to all have the same story every single week.
Trump bad.
Biden good.
All right, we'll be right back. Coming up after 6 o'clock, an entire hour of the Hammer and Nigel Show next.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, letting you know when you need plumbing help, call who I call, my friends at Hope Plumbing. Not only are they experts in their field who respect the true value of customer service, they also love giving back to this community, which is evident in their new referral program. If you refer a friend, Hope Plumbing will give you and the referral a $50 gift card to a local restaurant. Great plumbing and supporting local restaurants. For more information, visit hopeplumbing.com.
There's nothing more important than time. Time for you and time for family. If issues like high blood pressure or high cholesterol run in your family, make time for highly skilled heart care too. At Indiana University Health, you can book a same-day appointment with the state's most preferred provider of cardiovascular care. See a top cardiologist today, then get back to what's most important without skipping a beat. Visit iuhealth.org/heart to book your appointment today.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately, like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.